I hope that can break this down to where it's understood. I feel like when black women start to understand that the value of a black man has nothing to do with money, relationships will get better. They'll be more solid. Because let's think about it, black women. We don't want men to sit around and feel like the value of us is our vagina. So let's just be fair on both sides. We feel like we have so much more to offer than just vagina. And black men have so much more to offer than money. I said what I said. And my name is Shalakemia.
In the morning, you got me up, all cause you need to talk. To 4 in the evening, wanna break up, say that you've had enough. I'm tired of talking, again and again, argue about everything. You are my darling, this kiss and make up, I know you wanna touch. You call me every night, call me every day, I just wanna get you alone now. Trust me when I say, we gon' be okay, we just gotta boom bada boom ba. I don't wanna fight, you know that I'm right. Baby, let me talk to your body. We gon' be okay, hear me when I say. Like I work in finance. God bless, no, it's not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me, not by sight. Yeah, 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 yeah. I swear I vanish, I slide out landing. Sit 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got guys give, so they envy me. Got some friends out in Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fought for orange like some autumn leaves. Yeah, 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 yeah. I swear I vanish, I slide out landish. Beat your Benji, all black like Batman. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt, I vanish, I slide outlandish. Beat your Benji, all black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Watch out for those who surround you, need no funny kind. You can't see what's on my brain, I live inside my mind. Out of space and out of sight, you need me in my line. Need no face, don't need no phonies, no. Need no snakes, no only homies, down for show. On go. Get a book and get the front end, we load up and roll. I got kids, yeah, I got staff, I make a little need more. I sell records, you sell packs, not on my level, no.
pop star, I'm a rock star, I'm a one-on-one. Think I'm not hard, you smoke rock, car waste, man, why you dumb? I'm with airline, we on airlines like we on the run. I'm with Tay, girls run up on me, they done.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
Yeah, why check cash, yeah, I need my ass. Why check cash, yeah, I need my money line. Why check cash, yeah, I need my money line. Why check cash, yeah, I need my.
Ma jolie, oh ma jolie. Ah yeah, eh. Every time I come around you, baby girl, something doesn't feel the same. You said that I'm changing, but it's really you. I see how you play those games. Wifey type for a main man. A queen can make moves, a king can't. Snatch you up, now you taking. Gave you bricks, now you building a wall up, wall up. Lately you and I've been all love, all love. I don't know what's up with our love, our love. You forgetting all about us, oh. My jolie, oh my jolie. Where are you when I need you the most? You still MIA. This is murder, heart is melting. Girl, you got me. Called your bluffing, made you something. Now you talking, telling me to cool it off, cool it off. How can I cool it off, cool it off? Telling me to cool it off, cool it off. How can I cool it off, cool it off? Ma jolie, oh ma jolie. Ma jolie, oh ma jolie. You don't turn on me now. You don't get no time for me now, babe. Got him on a rebound, but it's only you that I like, babe. Tout ce que j'ai fait c'était pour toi. Sur le haut parle mais t'écoutes pas. Tu me vois crever mais tu bouges pas. Pourquoi? Whoa, yo, wall up, wall up. You can't even get the scores up for us. I don't know what's up with our love, our love. You forgetting all about us, oh. My jolie, oh my jolie. Where you been when I need you the most? You still MIA. This is murder, heart is melting. Girl, you got me. This is murder bluffing. Need you something, now you talking. I call you bluff. You telling me to cool it off, cool it off. How can I cool it off, cool it off? Telling me to cool it off, cool it off. How can I cool it off, cool it off? Ma jolie, oh ma jolie. Girl, you got me. Called your bluffing, made you something. Now you talking. You telling me to cool it off, cool it off. How can I cool it off, cool it off? Telling me to cool it off, cool it off. How can I cool it off, cool it off? Cool it off. I don't know how to cool it off. Ma jolie, oh ma jolie.
I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I might rent the Lambo and go drive it like it's stolen. I've been living wild, I'm just going through the motions. Stumbling out the Uber, grabbed my hand, gave me a notion. Swimming in your water, but it feels just like the ocean. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't sipping more for 2 years straight to the face. Champagne belly bubble still won't go away. Last year my best man hit a stain with bad face. Now he's got a LB on the water's cold case. I wake up with pain sometime and never go away. Wonder why I bow down to my knees when I pray. In my city gritty, gotta keep it on your waist, or you might be a victim, they'll find you DOA. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you.
To welcome you today to Vibrations.
Well, thank you, Raven, for inviting me.
Basically, it's your premise that the black woman is out of sync with the natural order of things. Can you explain that?
Well, it's a very sensitive subject, and certainly I believe that I have tried to approach it from a very sensitive angle. What I have actually said is that the black woman's disrespect and rebellion against the leadership and the authority of the black man is a direct cause of the breakdown in the black family structure. It's not an attack on us as black women. It's just saying that in the breakdown of any relationship, both parties have to take responsibility. And as black women, we have been protected and insulated from any kind of examination about what our share of the responsibility is in the breakdown of the black family. My book represents the first platform, certainly, that the black man has ever had to air his grievances about the black woman, because no one would ever listen to him. They have only listened to us.
Before there was Shalakemia Moffett, there was Sharazad Ali. Sharazad Ali was an advocate for male empowerment, but also a voice for black men as it relates to having balance and standards in the families, the homes, and also in the communities. With about 80% of our children now being born out of wedlock, there's a war cry by many men as it relates to their rights, but also as it relates to being respected. Many men feel that they don't have the voice to speak how they truly feel, because every time black men speak up, or American men for that issue, they often feel that their voices are silenced into shame due to terms like toxic masculinity and other terms that seek to understand or more or less undermine the masculinity of a man. Sharazad Ali was a voice and also an advocate, and now she has a contemporary by the name of Shalakemia Moffett that more or less amplified the sentiment as being the clarion caller for heteronormative masculinity in this Western culture, where many times masculinity is under attack. Is Shalakemia Moffett the new Sharazad Ali? Are modern men tired of being disrespected and not being heard in the contextual framework of America? Have black men begun to more or less divest and more or less begin to speak out only to get shunned back into silence? Sit back, relax, and enjoy this show as I bring it to you live from the greatest state in the union, the Tar Heel state. And I need you guys to remember this. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right. The right to self-determination is paramount in the therapeutic world, but also is paramount to helping black men and all men get the outcomes they need to be heard in the wilderness when only many are speaking out. Go support Shalakemia Moffett on her YouTube channel as we continue to have this powerful discussion about being resilient in a time when many don't want to hear the truth. Be well. All right, guys, we're about to start in a minute. We're going to have a powerful show on tonight. I call Shalakemia Moffett the next Sharazad Ali. Get your pens and paper ready, guys. We're going to have a powerful discussion on the empowerment of black men. Let's do it. bringing it to you live once again from the greatest state in the Union, the Tar Heel State, where the topography is serene, pristine, and verdant green, where every day is Father's Day, and where manhood is part of hills and valleys, victories and failures. And whereas men, we don't agree on all things or ideologies, but tonight we come together as allies of a common cause, only to dissipate once the crisis is over. Now listen, I'm about to drop some fire for your mind. But before I drop that fire, let's explore why we are doing the Manhood Chronicles. All right. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hello.
we got the lady of the hour who sang she is the next Sharazad Ali. I call her Shalakemia Moffett. I said what I said. Shalakemia Moffett, I want you to introduce yourself, sis. Tell the audience who you are. And I want you to talk about your passion and your love for black men in a time when many are trying to undermine the functioning of black men and try to make them settle for mediocrity and not get the things that they want. So tell the audience who you are. Tell the audience why you have been so passionate about what you're doing. And we're going to talk about you being resilient, because you remind me of my sister that passed a couple of days ago, but she was resilient just like you. You are Aryan, and you're a fire sign like me, so you have a special place in my heart. But I want you to tell the audience who you are and why you're so passionate about black men at a time when many men feel like they're not being heard.
Right. My name is Shalakemia Moffett. I'm born and raised in Pennsylvania. I've been a motivational speaker for a few years now. And I started this journey. I remember coming out of a long, relationship. And when I came out of it, I'm tired of just being in long relationships. I want to be a wife. Right. So I prayed to God, and I'm like, God, prepare me to be somebody's wife. And, that's when the journey kind of started, where I had to look in the mirror, and I had to face me and things about me, to prepare me for that journey. I went through an amazing season of singleness, where I learned myself, but I didn't only learn myself. I learned about black men, I feel like, I had to learn about a black man, how to love, a black man if I wanted to be with one. I think it just makes sense. So as me listening and understanding and learning, I said, what, everything that I learned, I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to talk about it so other women can learn.
And I think your story is so powerful, but there's a lot of opposition when it comes down to loving a black man, Shalakemia. Mm-hmm. Many don't understand what men want in general, especially in the context of Western America. But when it comes down to the black woman, the black man, which I feel that the black man and the black woman have been both the muse of society, there's a level of disdain, Shalakemia, when it comes down to understanding what they want. Do you think that the hatred towards black men, some, not all, comes from a place of vicarious trauma? And if so, where do you see yourself at in that particular episode?
Absolutely, it comes from trauma. A lot of, black women, have a hatred for black men because of something they have been through with the black man. Right. Well, what I'm trying to come to the table and say is, listen, I understand, but every black man is not like that. And if you continue to have that kind of mindset when it comes to black men, you're never going to be in a successful relationship or a marriage.
Right.
And I just feel like, I stand on that. Mm-hmm. We have to heal. Right. You that kind of mindset is going to keep them from being happy. It's going to keep them in a toxic, negative place.
Right. Some would argue, Shalakemia, that it's, perhaps trauma, because trauma does play a role. Mm-hmm. But then some would argue that it's rebellion. Do you think it's an interplay of both? Or which one do you feel give a greater level of credence to the brokenness that we see festering now here in America?
I feel like it can be both, because let's be honest. Some black women are not taught, to seek marriage. We're not taught to, how to love a black man. A lot of us didn't grow up, seeing our mothers love. So I feel like it comes from maybe some childhood trauma, as well.
Right.
And then Some women are taught that you don't need a man. You can do bad by yourself. Go get you some food stamps, a Section 8, and survive that way.
Right.
That's not no way to teach.
Right.
We're not supposed to be like that.
Right. No doubt. I totally agree. To the 55 that are listening, get the likes up. Go support Shalakemia Moffett on her YouTube channel as well. If you have not donated to the chat or to the channel, please donate. If you don't have anything to share or donate, please share the content as we seek to grow this channel, but also as we seek to empower black men. You are an Aryan, born under fire, born under adversity. And in the clinical world, Shalakemia, we have something called resiliency theory. Resiliency theory pontificates this, that there are some Shalakemia that are able to go through the ravages of life, are able to supersede the barriers that are presented before them and still come out on top. Resiliency theory more or less speaks to those that supersede the norm. You are very resilient as a young woman, born of the fire, true to the name and true to form, being the Aries. What does resiliency mean to you as a young woman?
I think for me, it's just not backing down, standing on what I'm saying and don't allow people to attack me where it's going to silence me. And I've learned that all this time I've been silent. I haven't put any content out. I think in about 2 weeks now. I've learned that about myself. I've learned my power. More of it. And I think that I'm ready to come back better than ever, than before.
When you say your power, what does that mean to you? What does that mean to you? And how do you deal with the vitriol that you get? Because women like you, the Chantel Simones, the Crimson Cures of the world, the Pink Book Lessons, you guys are called pick-me's. Pick-me's to me is a term of valor in my opinion. But when you hear the term pick me and all the acrimony that you get, what does that mean to you, Shalakemia?
I get hurt. I get hurt and I get pain. It's kind of crazy because I'm like, well, y'all saying that, we're pick me's, but don't you want to be, picked or, chosen, by somebody? But I think that's really women that are triggered by our content. Because I see things on social media all the time that people say about black women. I'm not triggered, why? Because it doesn't apply to me.
Right. It doesn't apply.
You see what I'm saying? I keep it moving. They're triggered. It triggers something inside of them. So, what a lot of black women are doing is they're attacking us women personally. They're not attacking the content. They're not coming saying, let's have a conversation. Let's have this conversation about black men. No, they want to talk about us. They want to say, Shalakemia, you're fat. And, all these different things. It's like, hold up. How did we get there? You see what I'm saying? But I feel like, it's a defense mechanism. So they don't have to take responsibility for how we act.
Right. And it's definitely a defense mechanism, an ego defense mechanism called minimization. Some of it, Shalakemia, is something called displaced aggression, where they target their aggression and pain to the target that did not cause them the pain in the first place. Some of it is cognitive dissonance, a concept that I created called death. They deny the evidence. They become enraged when you present them with the evidence. They argue through ad hominem attacks, meaning they argue with the messenger instead of the message, and they fight you or flee because they have a cacophony in their head that they can't hold or deal with. And then also, Shalakemia is something called the Medusa complex. Because when they look at themselves, they become petrified. And because of that, they cannot look at themselves because they don't like what they see. Right. And so you can't be the best version of yourself until you're willing to look within and look at yourself. That's how you grow. And, many times, Shalakemia, when some women come into men's spaces, men want to be unapologetically masculine. But you can present the truth to many people, Shalakemia, from a kind perspective. You can present it to them being assertive or aggressive. But the truth many times calls many to have a schema affliction. And so no matter how you tell the truth, some are not going to receive it. You try to tell it kindly, they won't receive it. So what I've realized is that the ones that want to change will do the shallow work. They will look within themselves and do what's necessary to get the outcomes that they want. And it appears that you've done the shallow work. And because you've done the shallow work, you are beginning to be on your ascension to becoming a better woman. When did you have your epiphany, Shalakemia, as a woman that was standing in the need of looking within herself to become the woman that you are today?
I would have to say, in my season of singleness, before that I was always in a long term. I had like two long term relationships, and I just didn't want to continue that cycle of just being in a relationship that wasn't going anywhere. So that's when like I said earlier, I prayed about, becoming a wife. So that season of singleness, I wasn't with anybody. I was with me. I was with God, learning me, focus truly on me and how to be a better woman, because that is my goal. And today it's my goal every single day. Is how can I become a better woman in this world? Not just a woman to a black man, just a woman, period.
Hmm. No doubt, no doubt. I totally agree. Shout out to my man James Turner for the $20 super sticker. Thank you,
bet,
brother.
right? That's
He
a
said,
deal,
much
right?
love,
That's a deal, right?
Kosher and hate.
That's a bet, right? That's a
Shalakemia.
deal, right? That's a deal, right?
I want to go back in time,
Honey.
and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, Shalakemia, that's caused you to become the brilliant woman that you are today. Let's go back into your formative years. You've been through a lot. You've been tried by fire. What did you have to go through in your formative years to become the woman that you are today? And what will you tell the other young women about the power of adversity and how to overcome it?
I believe my journey started when I became a teen mom. I had my son, I was 15 years old, and I went through a lot. I was 15, I went in foster care. My son went in foster care. I turned 16, I had to get myself together, go to school, get a job, and get my son back. So I was a mom at a very early age and transforming, into a woman. I faced a lot of things. I went through domestic violence when I was younger, as a teenager. I faced two suicide attempts, which really shaped me to be, who I am today. Um, a thriving battle, with a brain tumor. It's been a lot. I faced a lot. I've had times where I had to say, does God love me? Because I go through so much. Growing up, I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel like anybody really cared about, me and if I excel in life, things like that. So I've been through a lot that has shaped me into who I am. But I feel like when I became grown, now it was on me, to say, Shalakemia, what you gonna do with your life? You can't continue to sit up and throw, basically like, harp on the past. Like, what are you going to do to change your situation and change your situation moving forward? And that was like the power for me. Like I didn't graduate and I went back to school and got my GED, then got my degree. It was a time where it was on me, to grow into the person that I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm. I think I asked you the question earlier, and maybe you did answer, but my mind was being preoccupied. But what does it mean to you to be resilient? When you think about a ram, rams are very resilient. They're very tough. They're very forward. But what does it mean to Shalakemia Moffett to be resilient?
To be resilient for me is standing for. I stand on this all the time. Right is right and wrong is wrong. That's what it is for me. And speaking up, I've been like that my whole entire life. I've always spoke up, when something was wrong, and the truth needed to be told. Shalakemia told the truth. So I feel like that's what it's about for me. Right is right and wrong is wrong. And if I know the truth, stand on the front line and tell the truth.
The truth appears to be, how can I say it, a nemesis to many, because many don't want to change, but truth is the great elixir that can cause all men to change and to elevate them to a level, Shalakemia, of greatness. What did you see in your destructive nature as the former Shalakemia Moffett that made you become the great woman that you are today?
I would say I was in relationships and I would say I was horrible in previous relationships. I didn't know how to talk to a man. I didn't know how to treat, a man. Just not in those situations. I just didn't know how to treat people, period, because I was never taught,
Right.
but it was like once I learned, it's like, oh, okay, this is how you do it. But I'm telling you, I've came to the table in earlier videos and I've told women, listen, I used to be you. I didn't know how to be submissive. I didn't know how to respect, a black man. So I'm coming to the table saying I used to be you, but let me help you grow out of that. Let me teach you how to be better. So that's basically, who I was before.
No doubt, no doubt. Where does Shalakemia Moffett get her precision and logic from? You're very logical. You're very precise in your logic. You're very cerebral. Where did you get that from? Is that a gift that you acquired? Did you have to learn that ability to be logic due to getting it from the mud, dealing with the trauma that you went through? Or is that a gift that God gave you based on time?
I feel like it's a mixture of the trauma I've been through and a gift that, God blessed me with. Like, I don't pray and ask God bless me with a whole bunch of money. No, bless me with wisdom. Bless me with the wisdom to be able to go out in this world and do what you want me to do. I tell people God didn't give me a big mouth for no reason. My grandmama always told me I was going to be something great. Something with talking. And she always seen me like standing up for people, even when I was younger. So I definitely think the trauma shaped me into who God needed me to be right now.
No doubt, no doubt.
To go into my gift.
Right. To the 51 that are watching, guys, get the likes up. Get the likes up for me. Share the content. If you have not donated, please donate to the channel. Donate to Cash App $7 Smalls. And go look at Shalakemia Moffett on her YouTube channel because she's doing some good work. She's an advocate for black men. She's an advocate for the black family and the black community. And she's one of the few clarion callers like Sharazad Ali, the Crimson Cures of the world, the Chantel Simone, and many others that are beginning to speak out because they want to change. They want to do what Michael Jackson said. I'm looking at the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. But for so many, Shalakemia, when you point the mirror at them, they become like wild hyenas. They can't see themselves. And because of that, they're going to be left in the wasteland of time. I want to ask you a question, and this question is very important. There's a such thing called the evolution of masculinity, something that was very prevalent in the past. But now, Shalakemia, that there appears to be a de-evolution of masculinity to where masculinity appears to be under attack. And because masculinity is under attack, it's led to something called the Manhood Chronicles, where men tell their story based on their catharsis, but also, Shalakemia, based on their pain. What happened to masculinity, in your opinion? And has masculinity de-evolved into something that you don't like as a woman? And where do we go from here?
Oh, what happened? I think it's so many different things. I think that, like I said, a lot of women were taught, not taught, how to respect black men. And then they were taught to be these strong, independent women and taught to, feel like I don't need a man. You know what I mean? And feeling like because they get public assistance that they're independent. And nobody explained to them that that's not independence. You're still depending on someone. I feel like that's a part of, how black men are attacked. I feel like there's so many more. And I feel like, where we go from here is healing, teaching and healing. If people are open, I know there's some black women that are very open, they reach out to me, but I feel like if women are open to just being taught, not only how to love a black man, but respect one. And to be honest with you, I don't understand the not respect, the disrespect, because some of these black women have sons. So it concerns me. How are you raising your sons and you don't like, and you have a hate for black men? That confuses me.
Right.
But then, to be honest with you, they're in a way, hurting their black sons, because you'll hear a lot of black moms, oh, you act just like your dad. You know what I mean? Because they have a dislike for the father. So now they take it out on the son. So men have come to me and tell me they don't think that their mother likes them or loves them because they look like their father. That's terrible.
It is terrible. And what it does, it minimizes the grace of a man. It makes that man feel like he's not loved or worthy. Shalakemia, you and I both are warriors in these spaces. We're part of the war cry. Both are very passionate. Both born in fire and born under fire. Both being very passionate, true to cause, speaking our minds,
Right.
speaking truth to power, speaking with clarity and conviction. And, some will say we're very opinionated, but we just think that's the way you're supposed to be. It's just part of our nature. Behind the scene, I supported you because I like what you're doing. And I want you guys to go support Shalakemia Moffett. Go check out her audiobooks. Go to her university. One of the struggles that I go through being a licensed therapist in these space, and you being a content creator, as we both are, the work that we do is very time consuming. We take a big risk in trying to elevate our people and also trying to empower. But many times we don't get the support like our white contemporaries. We don't get the support really at all. And it doesn't, and people might say, well, are you doing it for the money? Or are you doing it for whatever? No, we're doing it because we love you, one.
Right.
And there is some type of monetary gain that we're looking for as well, because these shows are very time consuming. But your love for the black man, some will argue that sometimes our brothers don't support you like they should. And also they don't support platforms. Why is it that our people don't support black people, especially if black people are putting their lives and necks on the line, and also, putting in time to get them the outcomes that they want, but they don't really support it like they should? Why is that in your opinion?
In my opinion, I'm gonna say I don't know why we're not supporting each other. I can come and I can say, because some people are conditioned that way, or some people feel like I don't want anybody to get ahead, and that's not really it. We need to be supporting each other. This isn't a competition. You see what I'm saying? It's not a race. It's none of that. We need to be supporting each other. Chinese people support each other. White people support each other. They support each other at the drop of a dime. I feel like we are the bottom race. We're the most powerful race, but we are the bottom race because we're not supporting each other. And it's like, why not? We run and we support, the other communities. They don't even come and shop in our communities.
Right.
So it's like we're programmed. We're behind. We have to do better, though. People should be coming in and supporting what you do.
Right.
People should be coming supporting what I do. You know what I mean? Supporting, we're standing on the front lines.
Right. Stand on the front lines, putting our livelihood at risk. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, why not support us?
And, the things that we ask for, Shalakemia, we're not asking for, $1,000 or nothing like that. We're just saying support the shows, support the content. Some might say they're begging. No, we're not begging. We are saying that if you love what we're doing, support it. Show your love. And I'm going to give a special thanks to the people that have supported me on my platform. The always continuous one to do it, the James Turners of the world, the Top Guns, and the others that continue to support me on this journey, MC Recovery and Wellness. And I really appreciate those brothers. But let somebody else continue to support the cause. You guys have a licensed therapist. I'm not a charlatan. If you want to know about my credentials, I show it to you. Have 3 degrees. I've worked extremely hard. I'm an advocate for black men, but also for the community. But also, I'm an advocate for all men, not just black men. I advocate for all men. And so you put your people in very precarious conditions, because I get it. As a black men don't really spend money unless we have to. I'm somewhat the same way. But when you got good content and good people that are trying to go through time to get you the outcomes that you want, support the cause. If you don't have money, just share the content. I understand. But support it, because if you support it, it invigorates us to do more. And it invigorates us, if we do put our neck on the line and we get it chopped off, then we can say it was well worth it because we had the support to help you become better. So, these shows are very time consuming, but they're very important.
Right.
And as I said, manhood is under attack. When you think about manhood, did you have strong masculine men in your family, Shalakemia? And if you didn't have it, how did that shape you and some of the negative decisions that you made as a young woman?
I absolutely did. My grandfathers were a big part of my life. I had amazing relationships with both of my grandfathers. A lot of people that follow me know that my dad was incarcerated, a lot of my life, and me and him, we had a relationship through him being incarcerated, and even when my father, was home, we always had, a great relationship, with my father. And I think, that's why I really don't, look down, on black men, because I seen some of the things that my father went through. You know, seen some of the things my brothers went through, my uncle, my grandfathers went through, you know, and I love them dearly. You know, so that's why I don't judge black men. I don't judge black men that are incarcerated, aren't incarcerated, you know, work at McDonald's, may have hit a hard season in life. I don't look at it like that. You know how I view a black man that is maybe going through something? I view him as he's not going to be there forever.
Right.
He's going to come out of that situation shining and blessed. That's how I look at it. And that's how I want a lot of black women to look at it. Just like we would want someone to look at us. You know,
Right.
a lot of us women, we have been, you know, homeless, you know, living in shelters with our children. You know, we've been in multiple situations. Just like black women go through stuff, black men go through stuff.
Right. We all go through it, and we go through it many times, Shalakemia, without the support of our women. And you know, there was a war cry by a woman of the past. She said, "Am I not a black woman?" Then I would say the same sentiment. Am I not a black man? Black men want to be loved. They want to be respected. They want to be esteemed. They want to be exonerated. When you esteem black men, and all men for that matter, then we become the better versions of ourselves. But like Teddy Pendergrass said, all I want is a peace of mind. But he said it's so hard to find. Men need to be loved and honored in order to become great. And we don't want women that are going to do it, Shalakemia, from a selfish motive. We want it to come from you intrinsically, and we want you to be genuine. Because when you give a man his best, your best, then he's willing to give you his best. I did a show with Chantel Simone, shout out to that sister, and I said in the past, if you protect his six, which is his back, you'll protect your six. Men want to be protected. Women say, well, they don't protect us. Well, what are you doing to protect him? Are you protecting his ego? Are you loyal to him? Does he feel like if he lost his job, you're going to be there for him? Does he have to worry about you leaving him when he can't perform in the bed anymore? Does he have to worry about you nagging him when he can't give you the things that you want anymore? Does he have to worry about when he's down that you're not going to uphold him if he's been a man of valor in the past? Men need to feel loved and honored and respected as well in order to become the best versions of themselves. In the clinical world, Shalakemia, we call it choice theory. And Glasser talked about something called needs drive behaviors. When men are not getting their needs met, sometimes they have very maladaptive behaviors that are not good for themselves or the community. Why does Shalakemia Moffett love black men so much?
I mean, why do I love black men so much? I was created for a black man. Number one. Number two, my father is black. You know, I birthed two black men. How could I ever feel any other type of way but love for them? I don't just love, you know, my black sons. You know what I mean? And you know, the black men I'm in a relationship with, and my father and my grandfather. I love all black men. I love all black women. I love us, period. You know, so that's where my love comes from.
And one of the things, you know, I always say that why as a therapist, my mission is not only to black men. You know, I'm an advocate for men. I'm an advocate for all men.
Right.
I have a special love for men of color because we're the muse of society. But I want our men to start getting to the point of doing the shallow work, the internalization, to not only support good men, but support brothers, you know. And, you know, I believe that you have the power to change the trajectory of your life if you're willing to look within. You got to look within in order to change. You got to do the work that's necessary to uncover so that you can recover. Many people, Shalakemia, need to uncover so that they can recover. What did you doing and what are you doing now where you went through your uncovery process to become the woman that you are now?
I think the things I did was I looked at myself. You know, I looked at how I can improve in a relationship. I didn't only do that. I think I dug a little bit deeper, you know, and listened to, you know, what black men needed, what they wanted, how they want to be loved. I think when I realized that the relationship isn't just about me, that was power for me. Because most relationships, it's like, oh, make the woman happy. No.
Right.
Oh, baby.
Right.
You in a relationship, both people need to be happy.
Right.
Black women are not operating like that. They thinking it's all about them and what they need. You see what I'm saying? And then when that man go do something else, then I tell women, don't act surprised. You were not doing what you were supposed to do.
Right.
That's the thing. It's not about us. When they say happy wife, happy life, or whatever that, no.
I don't believe that fully.
No,
Right.
we both are supposed to be in the relationship happy. Needs are supposed to be met. You see what I'm saying? You're not, I feel like if a woman is only worried about herself and her own happiness, stay single.
Right.
You are not beneficial to a black man. You're just not. And a lot of, I'm telling you, a lot of our black men are suffering in silence.
Right.
Because some are conditioned.
They're conditioned.
That,
Yes.
oh, I'm going to make her happy. It's about making her happy. No,
Right.
baby, you got to be happy too.
That's right. Yes.
And they're forgetting about them. You know, and that's not that. You know, I'm not going to let things spiral out of control like that. You know, people can continue to be mad at my content and my videos, but we're not going to do that. We're going to put the black family unit back together. And if we can't put it back together, we're going to learn how to co-parent as well. We're going to learn that. We're going to raise the next generation happy and healthy and respectful. Some women are raising, you know, daughters to be disrespectful.
Right.
Children to be disrespectful to the black man in the household. You know, I made a video about that. I told him, I said, your man is about to leave because your kids are disrespectful.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then black women be like, oh, my kids come first. First of all, stop saying that. Stop telling a black man that your kids come first. You don't have to tell a real black man that. You see what I'm saying? And then the kids become disrespectful because they sit up here like, oh, my mom, you know, is going against this man for us and we could say whatever, treat him however.
Right.
No, absolutely not.
Right.
We're going to change that.
Right. And you know what, really, I remember growing up, my grandmom did it and my mom did it, and my wife does it now. She always put me first because that's part of honor. That's actually part of showing your man that you love him.
Absolutely.
You know, some women don't understand that before there was Eve, there was Adam and God. And that's why I tell men, Shalakemia, I talk to the brothers about protecting the inner sanctum of masculinity. The inner sanctum is that holy place that no man or woman can penetrate. That's that place that a man have that's sacred. And so I tell men not to fall in love. I say you can love her within reason, but never fall, because once you fall, you can become a saboteur of your own ignorance, and it can lead you to embarrassment. You should love your woman, no doubt. Don't get it twisted. You should love her, but you should never love her more than you love God first and your purpose second. Because when you love God first and your purpose second, when she decides to leave, and many do decide to leave, Shalakemia, sadly, then you will still be intact mentally because you have your inner sanctum intact. And that's why I tell men that. Because guess what? A man can't really love you until he loves himself. Because when he really loves himself, he's not going to let you violate his inner sanctum. Because when you violate his inner sanctum, then therefore he's more prone to do something that's going to be deleterious, not only to himself, Shalakemia, but it's going to be deleterious to him, his family, and his community. Because when Adam allowed Eve to violate his inner sanctum, look what it did to the world. The world fell. His kingdom was aborted because he allowed her to violate his inner sanctum. And you can't get no fire for your mind.
Fire
Can't get it
for your mind.
When you let a woman violate your inner sanctum. That's why I tell men to stand firm. To stand firm in their convictions as men. Let the woman that's coming into your life know that she must earn a place in your life. It's not given to her just because or by default. She must earn that place in your life. And when that woman earns her place in a man's life, she will be more willing, Shalakemia, to give that man her best because she realizes that he's a pearl of great cost. The cost of being in a man's life is very expensive. Men, you should never give that away for free. That's why I do what I do, because I want to empower all men, not just black men, but all men. I want to empower them. And once black men are empowered, Shalakemia, then they can love their women respectfully and in a good way, because the women know that in order to be in love or get love, it comes with conditions. It's not free. It's going to come with conditions.
Right. If I can, you know, just add to that, you know, like I tell, you know, black men all the time, you know, a real black woman is going to, you know, love you genuinely, you know, care about how you feel, ask you, are you okay? cater to you like you cater to her. This is a two-way street, kind of thing. But I feel like it takes a real, black woman, to activate some type of greatness, and not saying like fully, but some men have a greatness deep down inside of them that they don't even know about.
They don't even know about, right?
And it takes the right woman to come and activate that greatness and to speak to it. And I feel like that's how you know that you with the one you're supposed to be with, because she speaks to the greatness inside of you, especially sometimes when you in a dark season, and she come in and speak life, and into you. That's how it should be.
That's the way it should be. No doubt. No doubt. Because guess what, Shalakemia? There's a king inside of him. Every man has a king in him. But that king cannot come into fruition until he has the right woman that's a feminine oscillator. She's like an aphrodisiac. She knows how to spray the perfume of femininity into his mind. She knows how to caress the masculinity of a man, to pull out the king in him, to help him become the better version of himself. We're not talking about dusty men. No, no, no. We're not talking about men that are programmed to be bums, lazy, unmotivated. I'm not talking about them. But I'm talking about men, Shalakemia, that are on the precipice of greatness. Men that have the power that's been within them that needs to be harnessed, but they haven't been harnessed because he don't have that feminine oscillator to speak life into him. He doesn't have that woman to nurture the masculinity and to bring it out. Because I keep telling women, he's the beast, and sometimes she can be that dancer like Beauty and the Beast. But he needs a woman, Shalakemia, to bring it out. And once she brings it out, not only will he benefit, he's going to benefit at the same time. Shout out to my man Maurice Speaks the Beast for the $10.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal,
and he
right?
said that sadly,
that's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
The wrong thing. These people are stuck in victimhood, and that's why they won't support. They reject your help. And you're right, brother. They don't support your message. They don't support you monetarily. They just don't support it. But then when black people, or great women like yourself or even me start catering to other audiences, then people say, well, you don't support black people. Well, I did. I did for a long time. But what am I supposed to do? Because your time is immeasurable. Your time is valuable. Shalakemia, if you were lying and lying to the women, you would be rich by now. If I would lie to our women and our brothers, I would be rich because I could easily lie and tell folks what they want to hear. I'm a therapist. I know how to manipulate people. I could manipulate people if I wanted to. But I don't want to do that. I want to be genuine because it's not in my nature to be fake. Right. And so, guys, you got to start supporting good sisters like her. I supported her behind the scene. We'll continue to support her. And I need you guys to support me. If you don't have money, just share the content. Sharing the content with 5 or 6 like-minded people can help benefit me as well. What happened to femininity, Shalakemia Moffett? What happened to femininity?
What happened is I think that, some women, they just don't know how to be that. That's just like, when Mother's Day come around, everybody, has this amazing energy. It's Mother's Day. And then Father's Day, come around and women want you to say Happy Father's Day to them. I had to drop a video and say, absolutely not. We're not doing that. You're a woman. You're not a man. What are y'all out here talking about? Who started that? I told people, do not say Happy Father's Day to me. I am not a father. I am a mother. Please allow fathers to enjoy their day. But it's sad in this day and age, you have to say that. They want, it's like, what? Some of these black women just want to be in control so bad. So bad. And I continue to tell them, listen, a black man wants to be with a woman. He don't want to be with a man. He's not gay. He wants to be with a feminine woman. Y'all want to be the man in the relationship and think it's supposed to work. Absolutely not. You have to, I'm telling you, and it's so simple.
It's very simple.
It's about respect. It's about respect. If I could just share this, I was walking downtown one day and I seen this girl and she was talking to her boyfriend crazy. And, all these people walking by stopping and, and I had to say, sis, why are you disrespecting, your man? I said, this is your man? She said, yeah. I said, why you disrespect them out here in front of these people? Oh, he made me mad. Da, da, da. Listen, you don't do that in the street. If he made you mad, have a conversation with them. Don't ever do that in front of people. I said, and we sat there for about 20 minutes. And then it dawned on her who I was. She was like, "Oh my gosh, I love your videos." I said, "Well, honey, you ain't watching them. You're not applying the information. You would have never sat out here." Let me tell y'all, when I sat there and I seen them, he seemed like the woman and she seemed like the man. It seemed like a role reversal. So I was telling her, and I talked to her, to this day. I said, "Listen, you are a woman. You don't handle your man in that type of way. You don't do that. It's a way. When it's a disagreement or however you feel, it's a way. Out here ain't the way. Do you understand the way you out here speaking to him? This shows him how you feel about him. It shows you don't respect him, and you're showing everybody out here you have no respect for your man."
I totally agree, sweet. I agree 100%. And Shalonda, for real, is correct. You love God first because man was created to worship God. And you love her second because she's part of his mission, but she's also part of his purpose. She is his helpmeet. She was designed to help him meet his vision in earth. And like Jesus said, if I be lifted up, I'll draw all men unto me. If you lift your man up, guess what? He will draw you unto him as well. Yeah. And he will shower upon you blessings that you can't receive. But men are waiting to give you the blessing of his masculinity. Some men are leaving. Some men are already checked out. Shalakemia, they're beginning to explore their options in the countries like in the continents like Africa and South America, where the women are traditionally more feminine. I've said it once in the past. We know that women universally are the same. I'm going to say it again. Women universally are the same. I'm going to say it for the third time because people love to misconstrue what you're saying. Women universally are the same. But here's the caveat. They have been conditioned differently than women here in America. They're more conditioned to adhere to patriarchal norms and patriarchal standards because they realize that they need their men in order to become successful. So men are saying that I got to go where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated, because I'm tired of not getting that feminine oscillation. And once a man get that feminine oscillation, Shalakemia, many times, brothers, they lose their mind. They lose their mind because they're not used to a woman showering that feminine oscillation into his mind, his heart, and his spirit. He can't even handle it because he's not used to it. And I keep telling sisters, there are some uncovered gems here in America. But men are saying, Shalakemia, they got to go do so much trash to get to it that they're beginning to exercise their options out elsewhere, not because they want to, but because they feel like, Shalakemia, that the juice is no longer worth the squeeze. What's your take on that?
I mean, I understand. I have to be honest. I understand why some black men do that, though. I have black men that be like, Shalakemia, I'm exhausted. Then I have some that be like, Shalakemia, you have restored my faith in black women. I thought it wasn't no good black women out here, that would respect us and things like that. I'm not mad at that because that's the choice. People get exhausted. And I think that some black men are exhausted from trying to love a black woman because some black women are so mad and so angry. You know what I mean? And it's like the man didn't even have to do anything. That's anger and madness she bought over from a previous situation, or a situation she never healed from. Right. So some black men are dealing with angry black women. And it's not fair when they didn't cause that.
No doubt. I totally agree. I want to send a special shout out to my man, My Thoughts and Freedom. He says that I suffered in silence until I started to explode out of frustration from not being heard. I loved her and our daughter more than me, but I felt empty and alone when I came home. Bless your heart, brother. Thank you both for this conversation.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
For the $20.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal,
I really
right?
appreciate
That's a deal,
that.
right?
Because Shalakemia, I said in the past that a broken man is a hopeless man. And a hopeless man, Shalakemia, is a very dangerous man. You did something in the past, Shalakemia, that resonated very loudly inside my head. And you did a show talking about how to love a black man. We're gonna look at that clip and we're gonna break it down from an anecdotal perspective because I love it when you talk. And I know when you're about to get them, you start looking away. You start. I said that Aries about to get him. I love it when you do it because you y'all Aries are so full of fire, man. Y'all got that fire for your mind, like us Leo.
Fire
fire
for your mind.
And every time you start looking away, Shalakemia about to get him. She about to get him. I said she about to get him. So I'm gonna play this clip real quick there, and I want you to tell me what you were thinking. You're gonna lose a good man, and what were you thinking about in this particular clip?
Oh.
Turn to that neck, ladies and gents.
I want to start off before I even start with my message. And I want to let y'all know, I just want to say that, yes, I read the comments and, people saying, this is what people say about me, that, I bash women. Excuse me. I think that that is false. I'm here to strengthen women, and not just strengthen women. I'm here to strengthen men as well. I'm here to build. I'm here to grow. I'm here to share my growth. I'm here to share what God taught me in my season of singleness and many other seasons. I can't excuse me, I can't bash women because I'm a woman. But see, the things that I come on here and talk about, your sister should have told you, your mom should have told you, your grandmom should have told you, your best friend should have told you. Period. If they really want to see you grow in life, if they really want to see you in a healthy relationship, because healthy relationships exist, if they really want to see you happy, this is the things I'm telling you is the things they should have told you. Some women grasp what I'm saying, and some women don't. I'm not mad at the ones that don't grasp what I'm saying because their mind isn't mature enough to understand what I'm saying. Their mind, they listen to my messages, and their mind tells them that I'm attacking them. They don't see it as growth. They don't see it that way. They can only see it the way that their minds registers the information.
And Shalakemia, that's something called cognitive dissonance. It's something called cognitive dissonance. They can't see it because there's a cacophony inside their head. What do you think has caused them not to see it when, like the song back in the 90s says, written all over your face, you don't have to say a word? Why can't they see it?
I feel like a lot of people are set in their ways. They think that the way they are is okay. And that's not okay. But you know why? Because a lot of people have a lot of yes people around them. So if nobody's coming to the table and telling them they're wrong, what? People are going to keep doing it until somebody come along, and be like, hold up. Why are you doing that? You see what I'm saying? You wrong. But if no one is coming and telling black women you wrong, they're going to keep doing it. I posted the other day, I said, why don't y'all black women, not the other day, it was a while ago. I said, why don't y'all black women tell y'all friends they wrong for sleeping with a married man? Y'all don't do that. But let her husband be sleeping with another woman. Y'all will be telling that woman to leave him. You see what I'm saying? It'll be a whole different energy. Why we got that same energy? Why can't we come to our girlfriends and say, hold up, you shouldn't be messing with that married man. You shouldn't be cheating on your husband. And you know why women keep doing it? Because someone is condoning that type of behavior.
Right. They're condoning it, right?
You see what I'm saying? Right. In this video, they're not registering the information because, number one, they don't want to. They want to stay the same. They don't want to change. They don't want to grow.
No doubt. Shout out to my man Tim Howell for that $5 super sticker. He said, congratulations, Coach, for reaching 3,000 subs. And let me read this next super sticker. Shout out to Shiado Raphael Yashura. Thank you, brother, for that $5.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? Shout out to that's a bet, right? That's a deal, right?
I really
That's a
appreciate
deal,
as we
right?
continue to talk about the importance of loving a black man, but also why black men need love and they need that feminine isolation. Keep listening.
They'll get there one day. It might not be today. It might not be tomorrow, but they're going to get there one day. Trust and believe. When you are accepting to allowing your mind to grow and to get over yourself, you'll be able to understand. Some women look at my messages and say thank you. Some women look at my messages and say F you, Shalakemia. Y'all heard the same message, but you have to understand people received it, they applied it, and they registered it differently. So I'm not mad at those people. They're just not there yet. They gonna get there though. Trust and believe, because I'm gonna keep talking. They gonna get there one day. It's gonna register different because their mind has grown and they think different. Watch what I tell you. I'm sorry women think that I'm coming here and I'm bashing them. I'm just trying to give you some game. That's it. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help you strengthen your relationship. But you know, this is what I will say. It's a lot of y'all women out here that got a good man. A good man. And let me tell you something. Cause see, a lot of y'all gonna look at this video and be like, a good man? What's a good man? Well, a good man is basically different to everybody. But I'm gonna tell you, ladies, the problem is you're not out here looking for a good man and you can't even identify that you have a good man. You know why? Because you're looking for a perfect man. Period. You looking for a perfect man. You're not a perfect woman.
Bam.
So how could you ever be out here looking for a perfect man? Mm-hmm. You can't. Mm-hmm. None of us are perfect.
Right.
We're good people. Mm-hmm. We're not perfect though.
Right.
We all have flaws in different areas of life. Mm-hmm. But to your women that have a good man, and you know what a good man is, you're going to lose him. You're going to lose him being stuck in your ways. You're going to lose him because you ain't paying him no attention.
And Shalakemia, that's part of men saying that they're tired and frustrated. That's part of movements like SYSBM. Shout out to the mad bus driver, where men are saying, I'm not getting my needs met, and true to form based on what Dr. William Glasser talked about. He said that needs drive behaviors, and behaviors are conditions of unmet needs. Glasser, Shalakemia, talked about the 5 elements to needs. He said one was power, fun, freedom, belonging, and survival. But when men don't have power in this country, where they don't have freedom to express themselves, where they don't feel like they belong, and where they don't have fun, and also where they don't feel like they can survive due to the government, then men begin to leave and more or less derail relationships. And what you're doing, Shalakemia, you are speaking truth to power. But sadly, some will receive it and some won't receive it. Mm-hmm. And the only thing we can do, sis, is continue to push the message and to push the agenda.
See, a lot of y'all know y'all got a good man. And y'all run over top of him because he's a good man. Stop doing it. Stop it. That's all I'm saying. Don't take advantage of the situation because you know that you got a good man. Let me tell you something. Good men get tired too. Just like y'all feel like you a good woman and you get tired, good men get tired as well. So keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing him to the edge, and he's going to leave.
Right.
And then when he leave, you're going to be wanting him back. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be trying to do everything in your power to get him back, and he ain't going to want you no more. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because he went and he found him a good woman that appreciated that he was a good man. It's that simple. It's not a science project. Ain't nobody asking you to fly to the moon. Ain't nobody asking you to do nothing crazy. It's common sense.
It's common sense, right?
We want a good man, but don't know how to treat a good man when we get him. See, because I'm going to be real with y'all. See, y'all women, y'all used to the ones that want to beat y'all up and choke y'all and call y'all bitches. And that's what y'all used to. So see, when y'all get with this good man, y'all don't even understand. Y'all can't even relate for real. You know why? Because for real, you ain't ready for no good man. You looking for the last man you was with.
Right.
That's what you looking for. You looking for somebody to treat you that way. Then when you come across a good man that's not calling you no bitch, ain't disrespecting you, he's soft. Soft? That's how a man's supposed to treat you, sis. Something wrong with you, though. Oh, okay. Yeah, I said it. Something wrong with you. Them kind of men ain't soft. They respectful. They real men, though. See, because when you get with the man that's beating you all up, it's domestic violence, which it is. You don't want that, though. But then when you get something that's the opposite, he's soft. He might be gay. Well, he gay and he's soft because he ain't smacking you around and disrespecting you, and he talking to you like he got sense. That's the problem out here. It's the problem. Women will sit up and say, I'm a good woman. I don't deserve this. I can move on. I can find something better. I can find somebody that's going to appreciate me. And let me tell you something. That man's going to find somebody that's going to appreciate him too. I'm just coming right now because I know it's a lot of y'all out here that got a good man in your presence right now, and you do not appreciate that good man. And then people will say, oh, I feel like, my man's supposed to do this. My man's supposed to do that. I don't gotta say thank you. I don't gotta say please. Excuse you?
Bam. Shalakemia, and that was powerful. I want to ask you a question. Why are self-reflective women called pygmies and mammies? Self-reflective women have been reduced to the very denigrative term called pygmies and mammies. Why is that the case there?
I don't know. I don't even know where that started. I think I said something a few weeks ago. How do you call another black woman that isn't joining y'all in bashing black men? How do you call them mammies and pygmies? I tell people, do y'all understand back in slave days that's what they called our ancestors? That's what they called black women back then. Why are we adopting that and now attacking each other and using those type of terms? Right. But like we talked about earlier, that's just a defense mechanism. They don't really feel like that. They don't. Let's be honest. What can you really come back and say about the truth?
Right.
All you can do is attack the person. Mm-hmm. You can't attack the situation because you don't have nothing to come back with. Mm-hmm. You're guilty. Mm-hmm. People don't know how to take that kind of criticism and apply it. They gotta come back and be like, oh, you a pick me and you a mammy and you probably ain't been picked and this, that, and the third, while they sitting single and don't nobody want to deal with them. That's I don't know why they do that when it's easier to grow.
Well, it is easier to grow, but I think many don't want to look within, because if they look within, it could cause them to crack. That's why I call it Medusa complex, and sadly, some don't get it, Shalakemia, and many in the future won't get it because they're not willing to do the work. But let me read through some of these comments for a minute, Dish. Hold tight. Shout out to, let me see, Andrew Baker. Let me see if I can find. I'm trying to do all this at one time. So shout out to Andrew Baker for that $20 cash super sticker. He said that most American black women will never love, respect, and be submissive to a black man. Many black women are co-signing abusing them verbally and physically while expecting black men to take it. We're going to pass on that, and congrats to Coach.
That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
It's been a hard,
right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
But I'm honored to more or less speak truth to power to the brothers that are listening. We're going to finish this. Hold tight. I'm going to add this again, sweetie, because this is a good show. How do I get back to it, though? Hold tight. All right, hold tight. So we're going to finish listening to this, and then we're going to have a continued conversation.
Excuse you. Let me tell you something. That's like if you borrow money from a friend. You ain't supposed to say, hey, can I borrow some money? When they give it to you, you ain't supposed to say thank you because that's your friend. Absolutely, you're supposed to be like, thank you. And you're supposed to show gratitude. And you're supposed to be grateful. Period. We got to stop putting expectations on people, but not appreciating people for the things they do. That good man, don't listen. Like I said before, he ain't got to come in your house and take care of kids that ain't his. He ain't got to do it.
Right.
Period.
Right.
It's a lot of things that he don't got to do, but he do it. Okay, maybe it's some things that he's supposed to do. What's a thank you sometimes? What's a candlelight dinner? What's, taking him out on a date or buying him a gift or just going to the Dollar Tree or the Dollar General and getting a card and just saying thank you for being the good man in my life. Thank you for being an asset and not a liability. Thank you for just being you. Yo, if y'all like, I be looking when I be ear hustling in some of these conversations, and these women be like, "Oh, he's supposed to do that. He ain't get no kudos for what he's supposed to do." So we're not supposed to show each other appreciation? Oh no. But us women want to be appreciated out. Period. We want to be appreciated, but we're not showing our men appreciation. I'm confused. All I'm saying is, it don't matter if you supposed to do something or you not. Ain't nothing wrong with showing somebody some appreciation. A thank you. I appreciate who you are. Everybody in this world wants to be appreciated, want to be loved. You see what I'm saying? Want to be recognized. What's wrong with just telling your man like you appreciate him? Thank you for all you do. You got a man that's laying on your couch waiting for you to get your food stamps and your Social Security and ain't doing nothing. But you got a good man that's getting up every day, going to work, and trying to accomplish his goals, going to school. What's wrong with sometimes just saying, like encouraging him, empowering, inspiring? Like, I see you, babe. You working hard.
Gotcha, right.
Thank you. You're ambitious. I see you. Like, what's so wrong with it?
Right.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I'm telling you, ladies, do better. Because if you don't do it, another woman's going to do it. Another woman is going to come in, honey, and make that man greater than he already is. Do you understand? You in position right now, though. You got his undivided attention. That good man's in your presence right now. You better make it do what it do. For somebody else slide in and make it do what it do. Y'all seen that Tyler Perry movie? Don't listen. We ain't gonna play no games on the day because I ain't come to play. Y'all seen that Tyler Perry movie with Taraji P. Henson? Y'all seen it?
Mm-hmm.
Am I connected? I'm back. Okay. I had got disconnected for a minute. Y'all seen that movie, though? Listen. Ladies, let me tell you something. You've been on your job for 5 years. Been in the same position, making the same money. You bust your butt at that job. You put your all into that job. And the boss don't recognize the hard work you've been putting in, the long hours you've been putting in. The boss could be like, "Oh, I ain't giving you no raise. That's what you supposed to do. I'm not promoting you. Everything you did in that position, it was in your job description. You were supposed to do that. We're not going for that, though. We want the promotion. We want the raise. Or you know what we're going to do if we don't get the promotion or we don't get the raise? We're looking for another job. A job where the hard work is going to be recognized. Another job where you're going to get the raise. Where you appreciate it. Your hard work ain't overlooked. The same thing go for a relationship. Period. Tighten up. Do what you got to do. Because I'm going to tell you something. That good man going to walk away and find somebody that's going to appreciate the good man that he is. And he has that right.
Is that right?
He has that right. Period.
He has that right. And you're 100% correct. You know, I thought you was going to do your famous, I said what I said.
I didn't start it back then. Like, it was like a little bit later when I started, you know, saying that.
Right. But I love it when you say, and I said what I said, and I love it, you know. But you're correct. That's his right, you know. And I'm going to do a show tomorrow called "The Right to Self-Determination."
Yeah.
You know, men should have a right if they want to marry a woman with children.
Mm-hmm.
That's his right. Many men see the job as a stepfather as being a very thankless job, to the point that men say, "I'm not signing up for that." Yeah. And if they want to do that, then that's their right. But they don't have a right, Shalakemia, to be shamed into taking care of another man's kids. If they want to do it and they happen to love the woman, right, that's their right. But to the men that say, I don't want to do that, I feel like I can do better, guess what? That's his right to self-determination. That's a term that we use in the clinical world where men have the right to live their life based on their own terms without the fear of retribution, without the fear of being shamed into silence, but they can speak unapologetically masculine. I want to ask you this question, Shalakemia, and this question is very powerful. Have truth become the new hate? Have truth become the new hate?
Absolutely. Absolutely. People will buy into a lie before the truth. Just look how many reality shows are popular in their storylines. Someone wrote them. That's not real life. You know, and you see these women on reality shows, you know, doing all these different things, and then other women watch like, oh, I want to do that. You know, it's like, this is fake. They made a lot of this up, you know, and it's like people rather tune into that, you know, something fake, you know, than something real, and listen to something that's going to help them grow, you know, as people. I stopped watching reality TV, you know, a very long time ago, because I'm like, how is that beneficial, you know, to me as a person and growing? You know, those shows, I'm going to say maybe 3 years ago, a reality show, I was supposed to be a walk-on, you know, on a reality show, in a scene that did not fit, you know, what I believe in. I'm not sitting in on those scenes just to be on national TV to see two women fight over a man. And then one was supposed to throw a drink. No, I don't support that. You see what I'm saying? Like, people don't even know behind the scenes. I'm so passionate about what I do that I'm never going to do anything that goes against my platform.
No doubt.
I don't care what the check is looking like. I really don't. You know, I don't care what the exposure is looking like. I've turned down a lot of different things, you know, but I wasn't doing that because I don't support women doing that. I don't support women fighting over a man or throwing a drink, or a black woman disrespecting another black woman. I don't support that. I'm actually against it, you know? So yeah, a lot of people, I think they're really mad at the truth because they don't want to face them true selves. Right. They're hiding from who they are, really.
Why are you so passionate about masculinity? You spoke on it in part in the past. Is it based on what you saw in your community as a child? I don't know if you grew up without having the love of a father, but why are you so passionate about masculinity?
I feel like I'm so passionate because, you know, I'm passionate about things that are not right. I'm passionate about speaking up about double standards and things I see. Like, hold on, that's not right. Why is it okay for, you know, women to do this, but then when a man does it, it's like the end of the world, you know? So I'm very passionate about men being treated equal. I would never want someone to mistreat either one of my sons. Or be with my sons because of what they have and what they drive and where they live. Absolutely not. I want someone to be with my son for who he is as a person. Be with my son when he can buy you roses and when he cannot. You see what I'm saying? Be with him when he's in a great, you know, season in his life and when he's in a down season. And if I want that for my boys, I want that for every single black man.
Right. And you would think that some of the women, Shalakemia, will feel the same way.
Yeah.
That by them having sons, they will want their sons to have a woman that's a nurturer.
Yeah.
A woman that's going to honor and obey them as their man. And see, I keep telling women that the love of a man is totally different than the love of a woman. The love of a man is equivocated in honor, respect, and the dirty word that many women don't like, obedience. The honor, the love of a woman is based on eros love. Eros love is fleeting. the ability to hold her, to say, baby, I got you, to tell her, baby, you look pretty, to speak life into her ears, whisper in her ears. While she's cooking a meal, you might tap on the backside, say, baby, you got that. The love of a man is that Eros love. But Eros love is fleeting. That's why the gospel never told the woman to love the man. She told the woman to honor and to obey her man. And that's love to a man, because watch this. When you love a man, Shalakemia, when you don't feel like loving him, you will love him in spite of. I'm going to say it again. When you love him, when you don't feel like loving him, then that's love for a man. I'm going to love him when I don't feel like getting up early in the morning. I'm going to love him when I don't feel like cooking a meal. I'm going to love him when I don't feel like having sex. I'm going to love him when I don't feel like listening. I'm going to love him when I don't feel like doing what I need to do to get the outcome that I need. When a woman can love a man in spite of her feelings, that's love. And that takes discipline. It takes self-introspection. It takes shallow work. It takes that woman willing to look at the woman in the mirror to become the best version of herself. What's your take on that?
Absolutely. I feel, that's very, very true. Another thing I want to add, to Black women listening is I feel like our greatest power is what we speak over our Black men. A lot of women will argue with their man and belittle him and throw things in his face about him, his downfalls and things like that. I don't believe in stuff like that. You know what I mean? I believe in speaking life, into my man. I believe in praying, right, for him. And I don't think that a lot of women understand when that, Black men need protection too. Right. Y'all physically protect us and we spiritually and mentally protect y'all.
Yes.
Because sometimes y'all don't, and I'm not being smart. Some of y'all Black men, sometimes y'all don't think clear in situations. And that's when, us Black women have to come and touch your arm and be like, hold on, calm down. And just be gentle and just be feminine and be like, hold on, and speak some sense into you and some encouragement and some empowerment, and I really pray that, all Black women can do this, can start being like this. Because I feel like prayer is powerful.
Right.
When you do something amazing, when you pray for the Black men in your life and you speak life over them, I feel like it's so powerful.
No doubt. And women tend to feel the world. That's why when a man is about to do something wrong, sometimes that woman, because she's in tune with nature and her feelings, she might say, baby, I don't think you should do that. I feel, because feeling is not always bad. It's only when feelings become unconditioned to adhere to the masculine principles of a man, that's when feelings are bad. But when that woman is centered and balanced and where her feelings are in synchronicity with the mission of that man, her feelings many times can be congruent to help that man meet his purpose. So men, it's important that you listen to a wise, noble woman that's in synchronicity with her feelings. I'm talking about a woman that's mission focused. So she might say, baby, I don't feel you should do that deal. Baby, I don't feel like you should go to work. If those feelings are in synchronicity to your mission as a man, it's wise to listen and to hear what she's saying, and then you can proceed to act upon it. Sometimes a woman's feelings can save you from a lifetime of pain. But it's only if those feelings are in synchronicity with your mission as a man. Let me read out these super stickers for a minute, dear. Hold tight. They support in the chat. I want you guys to go support Shalakemia. Shout out to my man Top Gun for the $5, $10 super sticker. No doubt. And shout out to my man Lewis Weaver for the boom 50.
That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
And I appreciate that. That's what I'm talking about, guys. We gotta support one another. I love you guys, but we gotta support one another, because what I'm giving you is an impartation of wisdom and knowledge, and also what Sister Shalakemia is giving you is an impartation of wisdom and knowledge. Go support that sister at her bookstore. I bought her audiobook as a token of my love and appreciation. And also she's doing a lot of good things. So go support that good sister as we continue to grow and as we continue to dispel the myth that Black people don't support one another, because I know that we do, but we got to start supporting good men and good women and men that are giving us good content, but also giving us that fire for your mind.
Fire
for your mind, because you can't change
culture
until you uncover so that you can recover. So thank you for that, guys. You guys are doing an awesome job tonight, and we're going to continue this show because Shalakemia is dropping some bombs, because we need to have women like herself just speaking truth to power, and also being unapologetic. You know, Shahrazad Ali is a woman that many see as a clarion caller. You know, she's like the voice in the wilderness. And I saw you a couple of years ago. I tried to reach out to you. I said, she's so hard to get in contact with. I said, Lord have mercy. I think about a year ago, and it's like you would look at it, but you were like, I don't know who this Negro is. But I finally caught you on Uncle Stu's show, Uncle Stu, Old Man on the Block. I saw you on his show, and I said, now's my time to get in and grab her. I said, I got to grab the ram. If I don't grab her, she's going to get away. Because you know how y'all Rams are. Y'all are mission focused. Y'all just charge straight ahead. Y'all don't even think about the ramifications. Y'all just going to charge straight ahead. Y'all knock everything over, and y'all think about it after the fact. But you are an Aryan, and you're very passionate. You're very loving. You're very determined in spite of. There was a song that says something inside so strong. You continue to go on and on when there are times I know you felt like quitting. Where does that internal or that intestinal fortitude come from?
I would say that sometimes it's hard, when the attack is so strong against what you're saying. I started out, I had maybe 10 views on the video, and I'm at like millions now, and I'm like, okay, wow, they like hearing me. But it's like the backlash of, my page getting reported and threatened to be taken down. And it's like, I'm not cursing. I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just coming with the truth, and people, don't like it. And do I have my moments where I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I don't deserve this, I do. I really do. I think this last time with me just being silent, and I'm like, why aren't people, supporting? It became very difficult, because I'm a business coach, and it came difficult to where they started shadow banning me. So I can't even like promote and do my business stuff because no one is seeing my content anymore, really, unless they come to my page. This time away, has taught me a lot. I'll be doing a live on Tuesday, 2/22, and letting people know exactly what I need, what my plans are. My plans were already to start my own talk show up again.
Yes, ma'am.
I can't wait for anybody to put me on their platform, their channel, their network. I have to do it myself. And that's what I'm about to do. I'm about to create my own talk show. I did millions of views before with it. I did, my biggest was like 9.1 in a month, and they took my whole page away, shut the whole thing down, so I'm like, okay, I'm getting through, I don't know how to ask for help, if that makes sense. I know how to be a blessing, but I really don't know how to ask for help. I don't know how to really accept help. God is helping me. God's like, okay, you're a great giver, but I need you to be able to receive too. And he's taught me this in this quiet time, so I just always look to God when I'm ready to give up. And he reminds me where I started. He reminds me of what I told him, if you give me the wisdom, of how to be in a successful relationship with a Black man and be married and bring that family unit together, I'm going to go and teach other people. That's what I told God I was going to do. You bless me when you bless me, I'm going to multiply it as many times as I can, So, yeah, I have my moments, but then, I have to go to God for strength and guidance. I have to charge back up, and I think that's what I've done. And he's given me things to talk about, in this time that are powerful, and I'm just ready to see how things go on Tuesday, and see if people, support me. And, we can move forward with the message, and we can get greater and better and just be more empowered moving forward.
Right, no doubt. You talk about Shalakemia, some of the things that you struggle with, and you say you struggle with asking for help.
Yes.
Do you think that comes from a place where you've had to be resilient and stand on your 10 toes down? Do you think that's where it comes from?
It does. And it comes from sometimes disappointment. It comes from sometimes, I'm a giver. I'm that person that always steps up. You know, and I think it comes from hurt. You know, previous hurt from like being there for people and doing things, but you're not getting the help in return. So it's like, you know what? I'm gonna just do it myself. I'm gonna work with what I got. And I'm gonna make it happen. And I think that's where that comes from. Or rejection too. Me reaching out and someone like no, or things like, yeah, that's definitely where it comes from. So it's like I kind of make a way out of no way, basically, on my own. I've never had to really be like, hey, I need help.
Right.
I'm now learning how to ask for help,
Well,
And if I can, real quick before you go, Shalonda, that's on the stage, I just want to shout her out because she has poured into me when she bought like 3 or 4 of the audiobook, pouring into me, supporting me, I definitely want to, honor you as well. Thank you for, supporting me and what you sewing into me. You're sewing into this talk show, that I want to birth because, we need it. I know my honey is watching. I want to thank him for always, supporting me and sewing into me and him believing in me and just everybody who believes in me. Just thank you. I appreciate it.
No doubt. No, I appreciate you. You're a warrior in my mind. And I call you, in my mind, the next Sharazad Ali. Some might say others more or less deserve that very dubious title. But you and her have a lot of parallels. And, you speak with clarity and conviction. You're speaking at a time when many don't want to hear the truth. And it takes a lot of tenacity. And I know part of it is because you're born under fire like me. And you remind me of my sister, bless her heart. She just passed away of ovarian cancer Tuesday. And this show is in tribute to her, but it's also because you guys have so many similarities. And, I could have took this week just to grieve, but I say I got to move on because somebody needs to hear the message. And I'm sure that's what she would have wanted me to do because I'm very passionate like you because we both are born under fire. But I'm going to talk about the parallels of you and Shahrazad Ali. And I want you to tell me what parallels that you see. And at some point, I'm going to bring the audience up and let them ask you a couple of questions. I know you got to go with your honey in a few, but I'm gonna see if we can see some of the parallels of you and Miss Ali because I definitely think you are the next Sharazad Ali because you guys speak many things that are similar in my opinion. So hold tight.
This book demonstrates that we are not as different as we like to think that we are. So what I'm going to go over real brief right now is what the attributes are of the good black woman. Since she's not on television, we may not recognize her. Okay. Now, the good black woman has 7 attributes, and then I'm going to explain to you how to utilize those in your day-to-day life. The good black woman has self-discipline, courteousness, cheerfulness, self-respect, intelligence, cleanliness, and love. Now, we've heard that terminology. It's like one of those where they tell you pull yourself up by your own bootstraps. What do that mean? How can I make that functional in my day-to-day life to benefit me as a practice? It sounds like all theory. Where's the practice? What do I do? The good black woman has self-discipline. That's self-control. Let me make that real for you, sisters. We can start with our mouth. The good black woman can control her mouth. She don't have to say everything that comes up. It's okay if he get the last word sometime. She don't cuss in public. And she works on not cussing in private. She don't tear a man down with her mouth because they can't out-argue us. Can't nobody out-argue us. I have charged that we nag our men too much. We keep our men's head tied up so much with our petty grievances about our personal relationship that he don't have time to think and plan for our future. Because he got to deal with what's going to happen with us every day. It's real odd. When the black man come home, he almost have to do a wind test or stick his toe in the door. He don't know what's waiting. He don't know.
I want to ask you a question real quick. Were you influenced by Sharazad Ali? And I don't necessarily agree with Ms. Ali's worldview in some areas with spirituality, but I do agree with her message about fortifying a black family in a black community. But do you see the parallels between you and Sharazad Ali, in your opinion, because you guys both tend to resonate the same message?
Absolutely. To be honest with you, when I started speaking about this, I knew nothing about her. Someone actually shared it with me. And when I listened to her, I'm like, oh wow. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, yeah, she's on point. And then people, really started, sharing her stuff with me. I see so many similarities. I'm like you, I don't agree with everything, but there's a lot of things that I do agree with. Like a lot of things that she said in this video is true. Us as women, we can't be out argued, but we have to know when to be quiet. You know what I mean? We have to know when to listen, when to respect, when to understand, when to be compassionate. We have to know that. So no, I never heard it, when I started this journey. I would say I was maybe in the middle when I, learned about her. And I think she's awesome. I really do. I actually I want to meet her one day.
Right. You and I both. I would love to meet her. And she was having this conversation back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And you would think that our women would have gotten better, Shalakemia, but it appears that they've gotten worse. You and I still have a vestige of hope.
Yes.
But sadly, I don't feel that we're going to get the outcomes that we deserve, Shalakemia, in our lifetime. I think it's going to take a couple of generations. But it'll be on this side of heaven. I don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime, sadly, because many don't want to hear the truth. They want to feel good. And the gospel actually pontificates that. The gospel says that they will not love the truth. And they will want people to tickle their ears because they didn't want to hear the truth. And so, sadly, more want the truth, want the lie than they want the truth. Yeah. And so I think you got to keep doing what you're doing. I got to keep doing what I'm doing and try to save the remnant of those that want to hear sound, good teaching, and also want to transform into becoming good women, not only for themselves, but their man and their community. Because watch this, Shalakemia. Many women have gone to the grave by themselves. When you die, you won't take your assets with you. You won't take your degrees with you. You won't take your house, your bank account, or your fame. And I know what I'm talking about because my sister, bless her heart, passed away recently. She had plenty of money, over $500,000 home, Range Rover and all. But guess what? She didn't take it with her. But she did get her soul right with God on the end. And that's what's more important, because what it profit a man to gain fame and to lose his soul? It profit him nothing. So these conversations are very important, ladies, because I feel succinctly, Shalakemia, that our women have been hoodwinked. They've been bamboozled into the lie of being strong and independent instead of being soft and self-sufficient. What's your take on that?
I agree with that. I agree with that. I've spoken about that before, where a black woman will say and throw in a black man's face that, I'm independent. How are you independent? You dependent on the government. If the government don't give you nothing, where you gonna be? You're gonna be asking that black man, to help you out. I'm telling you, if there was no government assistance, I'm telling you, the black family would not be like it is. I tell people all the time, my grandmom and my grandfather didn't have much of anything. They loved each other though. My grandma wasn't with him because he was rich, because he wasn't. She was with him because she loved him. You know what I mean? And they had 5 kids. You know what I mean? And they built a home together. I don't know where we got disconnected from that mindset. I don't want to be with a man for what he has. I want to be with him for who he is. Because you know what? We can go and get all the other stuff together. And they're not thinking like that. You know why? Because they're not ready.
They're not ready, right?
They're not ready for something real and something genuine. They want a microwave blessing. They don't want. I tell God, put my blessings in the oven. You see what I'm saying? I don't want right now. I want future. You know what I mean? I want longevity. I want to build an empire.
Right.
With my honey. That's what we're going to do. It's not about those kind of things. You know why? Because you can have money in this season and be broke in the next. You can have a Range Rover in this season and be catching a bus in the next. Love me through all that like I'm going to love you through all that. That's all.
No doubt. I totally agree. Hold tight, sweetie. I'm going to keep listening to Miss Ali.
So who in there today? He know it's
possibility that there's some kind of new monster that he didn't even know about yesterday. So, you know, we need to not make it like that. We need to not be so vicious with our mouth. You know, men are not petty like that. They're not going to out-argue us. And it has been proven that verbal abuse is just as harmful as physical abuse. So let's not use our mouth to do that to him. The good black woman is courteous. She says, thank you, baby. I appreciate you doing that.
That's what you just talked about.
I appreciate every effort you make. Try harder. I'm going to work with you. Thank you. I know you did your best. Now that's a whole new language.
And do you guys see why I say that I feel that Shalakemia Moffett is the next Shahrazad Ali? You know, I don't think she didn't know who Miss Ali was in the past, but they have so many parallels. They speak with power, passion, and conviction. And, you know, some of you might nominate others as being the next Shahrazad Ali, but, you know, when I heard this brilliant woman speak over a year ago, I'm like, wow, what woman is, you know, I thought I was going to have to get the fruit of Islam to protect her. I was going to have to get my gun, my 6-shooter, you know, my 9mm and protect her because, you know, the way she speaks with so much power, passion, and conviction. And, you know, Sharazad Ali was talking like this about 40 years ago. You guys don't see the parallel in the video I showed you with Shalakemia Moffett and Sharazad Ali, the resilient one and the resilient ram. I said what I said. That's all I can say. I said what I said. So we're going to keep listening. Hold tight.
He said what he said.
I said what I said.
But just to say that during the course of the day, every day, with the man that you're trying to be with or want to be with will make our life easier. We can't get it if we don't give it. We keep wanting them to give us and do something for us that we refuse to do and give to them. It don't work like that. The good black woman has self-respect. She don't have to go out naked just to get the attention of a man. I have sisters all over the country, and they come up to me after the lectures, and they'll be talking to me, and they'll say, well, you know, all he think about is sex. All he think about is my body. I say, why don't you show him something else? And then here's the really good one. They'll come up and they'll have on a weave. They have on false eyelashes, another whole face, false fingernails, and all of that. And then they'll say, but I'm looking for a real man. It's real deep. I say, why? What do you want a real man for? The good black woman can pull a dress down without thinking that it devalues her. She doesn't have to use her body because she has so many other good attributes about herself to get the attention of a man. We can take the sisters in a position to take all of the charge and sexual energy out of the black community by just dressing differently. We have the power and control over that. That don't stop you from being beautiful. That don't stop you from getting a man. And it certainly puts things on the right perspective so some other judgments can be made other than physical. It don't take no knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to have a sexual reaction. That's the most base. We spend less time doing that than anything else we do. So, you know, that doesn't always have to be the forefront issue. We know we are capable of that. The good black woman has intelligence, meaning that she knows how to behave properly in the streets. She's not in the wrong place. Some of our women don't know what else to do other than go to the bar. They need some activities. Some of our women thinking that staying home on the weekend is some kind of sin. Some of our women think that if they don't have a new outfit to wear every day, that they're going to self-destruct. You know, we have a lot of just that kind of nonsense going. Every time we buy new outfits and clothes or whatever, all we're doing is sending money out of our community. We don't own no clothing stores. If the white man closed the shoe factory, we'd all be here barefooted tonight.
We don't own no shoe factories. You know, very base things that we don't own, that we put our money into and demand we have to have them. A lot of times our men look at us and know that he ain't never going to be able to make enough money to give us all of the things we say we want. And don't no man want to be with no woman who he constantly got to deny her the things that she says she wants. And that represents failure to him, to have to always, you know, not be able to provide us with what we ask for. One of the ways we can do that is to start being satisfied with less. You know, the good black woman is clean. Now that's a hard one. The good black woman try to keep the house clean.
Shalakemia, I want to ask you a question. There's about 6 minutes left on this video. And Samuel Barr, I just want to share this with you, brother. What I mean by femininity is this. There's kosher femininity and unkosher femininity, or toxic femininity, or femininity that is carnal. A woman that's in her true spirituality and she's living by the dictates of God, but also being the feminine oscillator for a man, if it's right, then her femininity can bring out the best in a man, because woman was made for man when she's following under the spiritual umbrella of God and her husband. You are correct, Samuel Barr. If a woman is not a spiritual woman, she's of the flesh, then she can bring out the worst. So when you synchronize things in its proper context, then you'll see what I'm talking about. A godly woman that's under the umbrella of God and her husband is a woman that's feminine, and she knows the true virtues of femininity, Samuel. So I just want to point that out. And I know your heart was right, so I just want to give clarity. But to you, Shalakemia, why do women fight accountability so much? And what's your take so far? We got about 6 minutes to go about what Miss Sharazad Ali is saying.
I think that, you know, they fight accountability, you know, like I said, because people period some people have a hard time being wrong. And I'm gonna be real, black women have a hard time being wrong. I used to be that black woman. I didn't know how to be wrong. I needed to be right. I needed to always have the last word. I had to come up out of that. I feel that's unhealthy. That's unhealthy to be like that. I don't need the last word. I know when to be quiet when, you know, I need to be quiet. You know, and I know how to be accountable. And I know the big thing is I know how to apologize when I'm wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. It takes nothing from us as black women to apologize when you are wrong.
Right. Anita Baker said it. She said she apologized. Remember the song about Anita Baker? She said she apologized. You know, reflection is so important. You know, as you continue to traverse on your mission, Shalakemia, and I want you to drop the link so I can give it to the people where they can get to your bookstore. And I'm putting it in the chat and I'll give it to them. But when you talk about and when you think about Shalakemia, your ability to reflect, when you give women good game, do you feel like more are willing to reflect? Are you seeing a resurgence where women are beginning to reflect? Or do you feel like it's more negative women than positive women, in your opinion?
Now I'm going to say it's a little balanced. I had a lot of women that, you know, at the beginning, it was a lot of negativity. But then I had women that were negative, and then they found themselves in a situation, and then they were reaching out like, Shalakemia, help me. You know what I mean? And admitting, like, I know I didn't like your content. I know, you know, I was saying bad things, but listen, I need to grow. I need to get better. I had a woman reach out to me. Her husband left. She was in pieces. You know, she said, I thought you were bashing black men, you know, but I see that you were really trying to teach us women how to be. She said, my husband told me he left because he wants to be with a woman. And I wanted to take charge of everything, you know, and I helped, you know, her through that, you know, that situation of becoming, you know, a better woman and helping her, you know, fix her marriage. So I think that people, to be honest, are being put in a situation where they have to face themselves and they have to grow. There's no other way about it, because you know what? These good men are walking away. They're walking away, and that's what it's taking. I see. You know, it's taking for them to experience a situation for them to change.
Right. And that's part of them. Sometimes, Shalakemia, you got to let them go through the fire of adversity in order to change. Let's finish listening to Miss Ali in the next 6 minutes, and then we're going to drop the link.
Good black woman is clean by her own body. You know, a lot of those things we kind of take for granted, but all of our people don't know about that. There are people who are angry with me because I even described the fact that some of us as sisters don't have the proper personal hygiene, as if that don't exist. We have too much falsehood and pretense going about our condition. Everybody that's dressed up ain't clean. You know, that's just the truth. We have to look at our condition in the light of truth. The good black woman practices non-possessive loving. Now, y'all know that's a hard one. Now, envy is wanting what someone else has. And jealousy, of course, is just selfishness. Non-possessive loving is not an easy one for us to practice. And, of course, I have a lot of sisters and some brothers who are in disagreement with me saying that. But the actual fact is that our men are outnumbered about 5 to 1. And nature is going to require that the men take responsibility for more than one woman and her children. Most of our men have children by more than one woman anyway. So I don't know why that was such a surprise, allegedly, when I said that. The black man has not been waiting on me to tell him he could have more than one woman. You know, I'm in agreement with the rest of y'all. I don't think he should.
What's your take, Shalakemia, on, I'm being funny, about brothers sharing for the sake of building the nation? What's your take on that?
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. But you know, I'm not the type of woman either to say, oh, I don't agree with her, so I don't like her. No, I just don't agree with that. I'm not going to agree with everything. You know, she has great points. I don't believe in that though. I'm a woman that it's me and it's only me. You know, that's what I believe in, and I'm giving the same thing. You know, I don't believe in that multiple. No, I'm not doing that. I don't need any help. I don't. As a woman, I don't. If people know I'm an Aries, I don't need no help. My man's good. I don't need no help. He's good. He's happy. He's catered to. You know, he's good. We don't believe in that. No,
we don't believe in that.
No.
I know y'all Aries. Y'all are fiery. And listen, you know, I know some people don't. I know there are people, I don't live by the zodiac because that's divination. People hear me talk about the horoscope, but I don't talk about the horoscope to live by. If you live by it, it's witchcraft. It's divination. What it says on surface as a character archetype is true. As I said in the past, I'm a Leo. You know, technically Leos and Aries are actually perfect mates, you know, because we're similar. Strong personalities, very passionate. We're go-getters. You know, Leo's considered to be the king of kings. And Aries are fighters. They're warriors. So it's a perfect complement for a Leo as long as they can keep their egos in check. So to the people that are listening, I don't live by horoscopes. I don't look at the horoscope every day to determine the trajectory of my life. But based on surface, what it says is true. Because many called Lucifer before he fell a Leo. Christ was a sign or a type of Pisces. You know, actually Scorpio was Lucifer. So not Lucifer, but Satan. So it just for folly, but it has a lot of truth in it because I think it comes out of the esoteric. So I just want to more or less notify that.
Right.
But I was being funny with you because I know you weren't going to share it. But
no, I'm not sharing.
but suppose it was for the community. You know, if it meant that we can have a strong community, they said, listen, sis. You know, there are some women that need a good man too, and we can work together. And we can, you know, share a man.
Not my good man. Y'all better go find another good man, not my honey. We ain't about to share him.
You ain't gonna share. You ain't gonna do it for the nation.
No. No.
So you share your man for the nation?
No, I'm not. They better find another way. I'll help them find another way.
You help them find another way, but not your honey.
Not my honey.
I feel you, sweetie. Hold tight. Let me finish listening to this. Hold tight. We're gonna drop the link.
Should do that, but I fail like you did. There are some things perhaps about the nature of our man that we have been given some definitions about that are not true. There are some things he can do that we call him a dog. We do not have the same capabilities as a man. I am not talking about fornication and adultery. That's something else. I'm talking about actual responsibility of fatherhood and husbandhood of another family. That's quite different from fornication and adultery. We don't have the same capabilities of them. That's right. A man can have 2 homes, 2 sets of in-laws. He can eat dinner at 2 houses, 2 sets of children, 2 garages, 2 separate sets of friends attached to that woman. He can have all of that. We can't do that. We can't cook dinner at 2 houses. We can't sleep with one man 4 nights a week and another one 3. Ain't no man gonna agree with that. We can't have one set of children we leave in one place and go and stay in another place and take care of another set. It doesn't work for us. Now that does not mean that we can't have sex with more than one man. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about just taking responsibility for your children. Now certainly every man can't take financial responsibility for all of his children. He can do something. But a man who is spending time with a child is going to do something for it. Because then they'll find out what we have since we've been taking care of them by ourselves. You don't like to always say, no, I can't do it. No, I ain't got it. So the children will make you get it up. You spend some time with it. You know, that's an important thing. The effectiveness of the principles that I just described, their usefulness has not diminished just because modern opinion has changed about them. There is not a black man in this room who does not still enjoy it if his woman bake him a cake. Well, our young daughters are being raised and taught that that's old style and that's out of fashion. We are not making those rules. Somebody else is, and they're imposing them on us and making us think that we have to qualify under them. I tell the brothers, just like I tell the sisters, if you have a woman that you've been working with for months or years, and you can't get that woman to get in agreement with your program, then get rid of her and get another one. And I tell the sisters the same thing. If you're with a man you can't agree with, don't make his life miserable. Get with a man you can agree with. But we spend too much time living in hell with each other. We spend too much time tearing each other down, trying to make the other person do different or function different. If you want somebody to change, first change yourself. We set the example. We are the teacher. We are the mother. We set the example.
No doubt. All right. All right. So listen, we're going to drop the link, and Miss Shalakemia and I are having a very powerful conversation. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight. Hold tight. And we're going to drop the link in a minute. So let me drop the link, and I'm going to ask you a few more questions. And okay. I'm getting a lot out of this conversation, Shalakemia. You go by the Cornish, I am Shalakemia, and you say it with such clarity and conviction. What does that mean to you when you make your pronouncements about I am Shalakemia? I say it when I say it. I love it, by the way, you know, because you're true to form, being the Aries. But what does that mean to you?
It seals the deal for me. You know, when I'm done doing the video and I'll be like, I said what I said. You know, it's a little bit of authority, like, you know. I'm not coming to play with y'all. You know, I'm coming to teach. You know, the I'm Shalakemia part, I had to grow into liking my name. I didn't like my name growing up. People teased me about it, you know, but I think once I hit that peak, you know, of, okay, it's different. You know what I mean? People don't have to like it. I had to grow into it. And I felt like once I grew into liking my name, Shalakemia, I really evolved in my purpose. Accepting first that my name is different. But not only my name is different, I am different.
Similar to in Hebrew, Shala is called Shekinah. Shekinah in Hebrew is the glory of God. So I don't know if the name have any Hebrew roots, but Shalakemia is a very unique and different name. I love it, by the way. But you know, we talk about accountability, but we also talk about women that are vanishing arts. You know, there were women like you and you know, Sharazad Ali. Those women appear to be fading. There's a remnant that are listening that want to do the right thing. But what happened to very virtuous women? And it appears, Shalakemia, if you can go back when you was 14 compared to now, I would say that truth is a new hate. And it appears a lot of our women have gotten worse. What's your take on that?
I feel like, you know, some have gotten worse, but I also feel like that's a choice. That's a choice. It's a choice to stay the same, and it's a choice to grow. I chose to grow. I chose to be better. I'm a mother of two sons. You know, um, I chose to be, a better woman than I was. But I feel like people are choosing that. They are, and it's sad.
It is sad,
Sad
right?
because they could live more of an abundant life if they chose to grow and take accountability and take responsibility and just be a better version of them. They don't even realize that they're not the best version of themselves.
Right.
And then you have to also understand people are so comfortable staying the same. There's no blessings in staying the same. They're scared to change. But I feel like it takes, a woman like me and many other women to stand up to the plate and say, listen, I've been wrong. It takes nothing away from apologizing. You see what I'm saying? So being submissive to a black man, there's nothing wrong with that. It doesn't take away from me as a woman. It adds to the family unit. And I don't think that people are even allowing their minds to go that far. And if I could just add one last thing, a lot of black women are allowing other black women to think for them. They're being followers, and they're following the wrong people.
How did trauma shake you, Shalakemia? You talked about having your first child at an early age. How did trauma and how did your environment shape you into making some of the choices you made as a young woman?
I went through, so much trauma. Like I said, I went through a period where I felt like God didn't love me. It was when I went to a mental institute. I tried to kill myself. I was in a mental institute, and an older woman, she was like, "You don't even know who you are," and I'm looking at her like, "I don't even know you," But she was coming from a spiritual aspect, and she was speaking and pouring into me, and I didn't understand it, at that time. But every piece of trauma I went through was to shape me into, being, who I am. And I teach people that. I tell people, learn something from what you went through. Don't harbor it. Don't carry it around, and feel sorry for yourself and want people to feel sorry for you and use it, as pity. Learn something from it. Let it strengthen you as a person so you're able to walk in your purpose with your head held high.
Big Country, if you can, brother, cam up for a few minutes. I want to bring you on, but if you can cam up in the back so I can see you, and then if you want to go without the camera, that's okay, but I need to at least see you because there are trolls in these spaces, and this sister has been attacked by many people in the past. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect her. Shalakemia, you talked about a lot of the things you went through as a child. You talked about family. You stand out with having such a bold voice. Does your family support you in your message and your mission?
I would say that my children do. And I would say my aunt, I have an aunt that has been there for me, just been there for me. She's been like a mom to me. Her, and her husband, they, support me. I'm not going to say the rest of my family doesn't support me. I'm going to say they don't understand. They don't understand someone coming to the table and standing on the forefront. They don't they're the type of people, to be honest with you, they're not right is right, wrong is wrong kind of people. They'll see something happen that's wrong and will never speak up on it. I've never been that type of person. I can't make them understand who I am and the purpose that I have on my life. I'm me. And I appreciate, the people that do support me. I feel like the people in my family that don't understand my walk. And it's not for them to understand.
Right. Many feel that we're not going to ever get back to where we were, Shalakemia. Many feel that the evolution of the black family and the black community is more of a very nebulous and utopian idea. Mm-hmm. What's your take on seeing a vestige of hope from the past? Or do you think it's going to take generations to more or less tear down or more or less change what's been broken for so long? Because Sharazad Ali was talking this about 40 years ago. Yeah. Or 25, 30 years ago when I was a young man. And it's gotten worse. So what's your take on that? And I'm going to let James Turner and Big Country talk. Go ahead.
I feel like, the people that wanted to change and grow and learn from her. And the people that didn't want to. I feel like I don't feel like it's going to take generations. I feel like it's going to take examples. And I feel like I've been a great example, just like she's been a great example. I feel like I've been a great example in coming, to the table. It's not many people that's going to come to the table and be like, hey, I tried to commit suicide and I was in a mental institute. That's like, oh no, we can't talk about that. That how that makes us look. I don't care how it makes me look. If I can save some people, I don't care if I come to the table and I'm like, listen, I didn't know how to treat and love and respect and be submissive to a Black man, but now I do, and I want to come and teach you. I don't mind being the example and also building other examples up. And I feel like that's what I'm doing. I have women, there's not just women bashing me, there's women reaching out. Like Shalakemia, I want to be a better woman. Or you saved my marriage. You know what I mean? Or now I'm in a successful relationship. It's different, but it's I'm happy, it's successful. It's not, what I'm used to. I don't feel like it's going to take generations. I feel like it's going to take strong examples like myself and like Miss Ali that are not going to back down.
Well, and I love your optimism because I'm very optimistic too. You tend to see the glass half full. Some tend to see it half empty. I don't see it happen in our lifetime. I think you and I both got to continue to be declaring callers. I think we will save a remnant, but it's going to take a Herculean effort to change what's been erected because the trajectory is not getting better. But James Turner, how would you like to add to the conversation, and what questions do you want to ask Ms. Moffett as it relates to the current world that we live in and the trends that we're seeing?
All right. Hey, Kosher. Hey, Shalakemia.
Hello.
I just want to say thank you. I've been keeping up with your content as well. You're spot on. You're doing a great job. And I hope truly that you're not really thinking of leaving the YouTube space. I've been seeing that a little bit on YouTube. So I'm hoping that you don't decide to really truly do that because, us as a people, we need you out here. That's a fact. And what you're doing is great. It's, it is the rough side of the mountain, but it really is the best side of the mountain because you're helping us as a whole, and I appreciate that. So I wanted to say that. I got a couple of questions, but I'm just going to ask one, I think. So when it comes to the solutions of us coming together as a people, because, well, I'll ask the question, are there any female panels? I'm not just talking, one-on-one collaborations, but entire panels where the women are coming together in regard to bringing us together as Black people that you heard of. Not to say that they don't exist. I've just never heard of them if they're out there. To not only just talk about the problems, but to perhaps talk about, the solutions. Because the stuff that I hear out there on YouTube, particularly from the men, we're trying to figure out solutions on how to get to this. And the only thing that I can see us doing is basically we have to somehow convince our women so that we can become the type of community that has power, that that has influence, that that can get into the political aspect of things and make a change for everybody. So that's my question. Do you see any panels like that out there on YouTube? Or have you been a part of one, or have you started one where you get a bunch of ladies on there, and we talk about the issues that are going on between our relationships? What do you think about that?
I've actually before I announced my last video, I actually was putting a panel together, of women, that were in the same space as me. In basically took accountability, changed their ways, and they're amazing, women. I've been thinking about, still doing, that panel. I think it will be good. Like I said, I think a lot of men are followers. They follow what another woman does. For example, I was talking to a young lady on the phone. She was married, And I was making a little bit of noise, and she's like, "What you over there doing?" And I was like, "Well, I'm over here. I'm talking, trying to talk you through the situation, but I'm also, cooking dinner and packing my boyfriend lunch." And she's like, "What? You're packing his lunch?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "I'm married. I don't even do that." And I'm like, "Why not?" So we got into that. And when I had met up to have lunch with her and her husband, her husband was like, I know you're the reason I get lunch now. So it's just those small things, you know what I mean, that she learned from me, that now she implements it. I think that's what it's about.
Right.
A lot of women are following the wrong women. I think it's about more of getting around the right women,
right,
and learning how to be a woman.
Because I noticed that you're coming in on the tail end of what Shahrazad had to deal with. That was around a time where the men were coming home from work. A lot of people were married, and the men were just coming home from work or whatever, and they never really knew what type of mood that the women were going to be in when they got home. And it came a lot from, conversations with women at the times where, particularly when, the ladies and the guys, come over to somebody's house.
Right.
The women are sitting over here and the men are sitting over here, and the women and the men are sitting over here. And, we're watching the football games or whatever and just kicking back, having a good time. But the ladies, they're in the living room or they're at the kitchen table, sitting around drinking coffee and, maybe another chicken wing or a cake and somehow, trying to discover how they can kind of manipulate their men. Now, with the manipulation, though, it wasn't, and I've heard some things because I was a kid when it was going on, so I kind of know. But some of the manipulation, it wasn't to help them be a better them. It was more or less, to help them, give them what they felt that they wanted, kind of thing. So now, and those were the baby boomers back then. So now we're coming back, we come back to now where you are, where the women, where their mothers were telling the young ladies of Generation X and the millennials and zennials, don't do what I did. Do something different. Go a different way. Because a lot of ladies, they claim they were unhappy and that kind of thing. And I can understand it, but the communication wasn't there. So yeah.
Just to piggyback off of that, I hear a lot of women, and like I'm very outspoken. I hear women say, I want the love that, my grandmom had. And then I have to be the one like, but you're not your grandmom. You're not acting like your grandmom. You see what I'm saying? You got to be your grandmom to get what your grandmom had,
Right.
I don't think people say they want things, but are you preparing for them? Are you changing yourself to be able to receive it? Is the question. Many are not doing that. They don't want it bad enough.
No doubt. Big Country, how would you like to add to the conversation? And Chantel Simone, I'm about to joke with you. Cam up says I'm playing with you, but go ahead, Big Country. I'm just having fun with you. Go ahead, Big Country. How would you like to add to the conversation, bro?
Well, I've been married for 15 years, and I think, and watching my parents grow up, I'm from Alabama. That's really the best state in the South. But I'm
the greatest state in the Union, the Tar Heel State.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You would set yourself up for that, brother.
I know. All right. I live in Maryland now, but I'm perplexed about the mentality with some of the sisters. Now, I'm married, but my wife doesn't seem to get on board with this submissive thing. It's almost like it's a curse word. And, I'm just trying to I don't ask for a lot, but I'm just trying to wrap my brain around why is that word such a bad word?
Because go ahead, Shalakemia. Go ahead, sweetie. Go ahead.
It's not that it's a bad word. It's just that people that don't understand what submissive means have put out wrong things about it. Like, oh, if you're submissive to a man, he wants to control you. That's not what it is. They're miseducated. You see what I'm saying? So right. That's why she feels the way she feels. She don't understand what it means. You have to know the difference when people understand what something means. Like, right. Oh, that's what that means? Okay. And that may be just it. She needs to understand what it means. You said 15 years?
Yep.
I feel like, and not even just 15 years. I just feel like, because men say that all the time, oh, I don't even ask for much. I just feel like,
Exactly.
men shouldn't have to ask for anything. We as women, we know how we like to be catered to. You see what I'm saying? We know how we like to feel special. We need to be making y'all feel just as special.
Right. And I'm one of the guys that says, I don't ask for much. All I want to do is come home to peace.
Right.
I don't, I watch a little football and that's about it. But I don't ask for a lot and I don't require a lot. I'm not one of these guys that, oh, you got to do this and you got to do that and you got to do this. No, I'm not that kind of person. But I find myself catering so much more to her, but I
Right.
don't get that reciprocity. And so
Right.
now it's really weighing on me heavily to the point where I might have to end this relationship.
I respect that.
Oh.
Right.
Oh,
And
wow.
I was the good guy, and Brother Kosher was correct. When we first got together and we got married or whatever, she had a son, I had a son. Okay. I didn't have a problem with stepping in and doing my job. But now it seems like the roles have kind of reversed now.
Right,
it's like,
right.
okay, he's off to school, he's doing very well. And it seems like I have no advocate on my end because, he's going to automatically flaunt to his mom. So it's like, we don't have anyone in our household right now, just me and her. So I always feel like I'm always on the defensive, or I have to, justify everything. And all I'm trying to do is be a good provider and do my thing. I grew up, like I said, I grew up in Alabama. I have great Southern roots. I stay out of the way. I just want to come home. I just do my thing and that's it.
Yeah.
I just don't understand the new mentality. And there may be some other underlying things going on because I'm noticing that even with some of my friends and their wives or significant others, they're out here acting like they're Cardi B or somebody. And I'm like, well, you're married. Why are you dressing that way? Why are you not dressing modest? And then like in my case, if I say, well, dear, I don't like that outfit, that's showing too much.
Mm-hmm.
It automatically, she gets offensive about that and automatically think I'm trying to control her or trying to, it's just that as a protector and a provider,
Right.
if we go out somewhere and you got this provocative stuff on and some young man or guy or whatever come to you and be disrespectful, I have to step up and do my job.
Right.
So why even put yourself through that situation when you can just say, well, my husband don't really like that.
Right.
So let me put something on that's not so revealing.
Right.
And so that's one of many of the pushbacks that I get. I'm not to put my stuff out in the world, but at this point, it doesn't. I don't care anymore. It has to be said. A lot of these young women that's 50 years old, they're acting or more. They're acting like they're Cardi B. They're acting like they're 35. They're acting like they're young.
Right.
That ship has sailed.
Right. If I could say to you, what you're describing is that she doesn't see you as her man. And I'm just being
Give it to me. I can handle it.
Because when if my man is uncomfortable with something that I'm wearing, I'm going to change.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? I'm going to change. That's out of respect for my man. There's a lack of respect there. And women that do that feel like, you're attacking them when you say that, they do not look at you like their man. They do not view you like that.
Wow.
And that's the truth.
Well, I'm gonna add to this as what Shalakemia said, and then I want Chantel to pop in. What it is, a lot of it also is modernism. It's modernism, big country. part of also now, since the son is out of the house, she want to relive her youth again because some women have, used men as commodities to be subjugated. And that's why I say over and over again, I'm not necessarily against a man want to take over a woman to have children. If that's what you want to do you. But I do believe in the right to self-determination. And many times, you as much anymore. Any woman that tell you that you're trying to control her is a fool, because a man needs to have healthy control in the relationship. There's good control and there's healthy control. I'm going to do a show on that. But a masculine man got to have control in his family. He got to be able to control his environment. That's part of when God told Adam to subdue the earth. When Adam subdued the earth, it was part of the control. So you have to control your woman in a around.
Coach, I think we lost you.
Yeah, he's freezing a little bit.
Freezing a little bit.
Me now. Can you guys see me?
Yeah, I think you're back.
You're coming back in. Yeah.
I'm coming back in. Can you see me?
Yeah.
So when that woman doesn't honor and respect you as a man, then you got to either set parameters and new boundaries and say, listen, now you're violating my inner sanctum as a man. Mm-hmm. Either you're going to adhere to my expectations, or like you said, you have to let it go. But many times, big country, there are some women that use men as tools to take care of their kids. And once the kids are gone, then they don't need you anymore. So now she want to relive that freedom because she got her fix. She want to go and do hot girl summer again because we live in a very ratchet and a very hedonistic culture. And so it's nothing wrong with you, brother, because there are women in other countries that will respect you and honor you. But if she doesn't honor you and respect you as a man, you set parameters. If not, start an exit strategy, because you don't have to live in that kind of turmoil.
Right. I do want to say, like, I want to ask, like, have you had a conversation with her about how you feel? And if you did, are you heard?
I have had a couple of conversations with her, and I agree with Brother Kosher that she has a young lady that she's known since she was 10 years old. And this young lady is very successful, but she's 36 and she's single. And she has her from that young lady's perspective, in my opinion, her standards are set way too high. Even Jesus can't meet that expectation. And so, and this young lady likes to travel. She goes places, she does things, and my wife feels like she can do that too. Now we have the means to do that, and we do travel a lot. But I just don't, you guys hit it dead on the head, and I have to make a decision because, it sucks because to start over again, it sucks. But I always told myself, and I told my oldest son, I said, son, your mental health is invaluable.
It's invaluable, right?
Right.
I even told my wife, I said, honey, I'd rather, die with a peaceful mind.
Wow.
I'd rather die and have peace in my mind. I'd rather die with a peace of mind rather than have millions of dollars.
I know what you mean, bro.
I agree.
I know exactly what you mean.
I agree with you.
We're a successful couple. We own a nice company, and that is the problem. That's going to be the problem because at some point, I'm majority owner and she is the other partner. At that point, we got to either get off this train with the marriage and keep the business going, or everything gets blown up. But see, I try to do like of people of our different hue. What they do is they're not going to let anything come between their money. So what they'll do is sever the relationship but keep the business. But she's so bitter that she's willing to trash everything.
Well, I would say come up with an exit strategy. Be very careful. Get you a good lawyer. I'm not telling you to leave your wife. I agree with Shalonda Farrell. Have a heart-to-heart conversation with her. You try as much as you can, but if you see her not trying, start coming up with a comprehensive exit strategy. Don't tell her I'm going to leave you. I want to divorce. Don't say anything. You make sure you have your everything, your ducks lined up in a row. I want you to think pragmatically instead of thinking with your emotions, and then move forward and move accordingly. But don't let her know when you're going to do it, because she's going to get the upper hand. You got to be very pragmatic, and we'll talk about it in the consultation, Big Country. Chantel Simone, how would you like to add to the conversation, dear?
Good night, everyone.
How you doing, dear? What's going on?
Hi, panel. I'm so sorry I can't come off. I have my
you're
bonnet
fine.
on.
I'm having fun with you.
Hi, everyone on the panel. I'm so sorry. I don't want to mispronounce your name. How do you pronounce your name, ma'am?
Shalakemia.
Shalakemia.
Yeah.
I'll probably ask you 3 more times, but that's fine. It's nice meeting you. I'm familiar with your content, and it's really good content. I appreciate it. Earlier, you talked about that there is hope. But my concern is that there's no incentive for many of our women to submit to a man. Like how you made the lunch for your boyfriend. There's literally no incentive, because the feminist movement is brainwashing us, telling that we're strong, independent, and if a man trying to control us, then he's trying to dim our light, and we can do it all by ourselves, and we have our sisterhood backing us up, encouraging us to be without our men. What are you guys' thoughts on that? The fact that there's no incentive for us to submit and fall under our men's leadership.
Shalakemia, I'll let you take it.
I've never heard that before. No incentive. I mean, men could say there's no incentive, with dealing with a woman that has 4 kids. Like, what do I get out of it? I'm coming in here, I'm taking care of these kids. I don't think we should look at it as an incentive. I didn't I didn't cook dinner and have it done when he got off work and packed his lunch because I was looking for an incentive. I did that because I love him and, I cared about him, and things like that. I didn't do it looking for anything in return.
No, I think what she's saying, Shalakemia, I see your point. She's saying that as it relates to women submitting to men, she's not disagreeing with you. What she's saying that
he went over again, but I think
nobody's holding them accountable. Go ahead.
Mr. Crocher, you broke up, so
you broke up a little bit.
Yeah. I was saying that she doesn't. Can you guys hear me? I don't know what's wrong with this internet.
You froze again. I didn't think you were. I didn't think you were disagreeing with me, though.
But basically, what I was saying, from a modern woman point of view, there's no incentive to submit to a man, because me and you know the benefit of having a good man in our life. They don't. So they're saying like, oh, if I can do it too, I can pay my bills. I don't need to submit to a man. We need to be partnership. So to the point that you said earlier that there's hope in our society, to me, I don't really think that there's any hope, because these women aren't seeing the true incentive of being submissive to a man and allowing a man to lead.
I mean, I feel like, just like I said before, the women that get it, the ones that don't, they must not want it. If you have a mindset of looking for an incentive, I don't think you're going to get a good man. I don't think you're going to get it, period. I don't know. I can really only speak for me, the hope that I have, that if I come and I'm real and I'm the example and I'm genuine and I'm telling people, listen, this is how it is and these are the results. And just to add, I don't believe in feminism. I don't believe feminism was I don't believe in Black feminists. I don't think feminism was for Black women either. That's how I feel. But the whole incentive, I could never understand that. I just couldn't. I hope I answered it, or clarify some things. Maybe culture can piggyback off of that.
Well, what she's trying to say, and I think she's trying to say, is that
it just keeps breaking up every time, because I think he understands what I was trying to say and he's about to explain it.
Can you guys see me? Y'all can't see me?
You see, but you're breaking up every
It's like, as soon as you about to make that point, it just freezes.
Yeah, it must be the devil, man. We're gonna rebuke the devil.
Or maybe that swag you talking.
Because I think you understand what I'm trying to say, and you'll probably clarify it better.
Yeah. Can you guys see me? Because every time I'm about to explain it, can you guys see me? What she's trying to say is that in the modern times, true to what Big Country is talking about, there are no incentives for a woman to do the right thing because there are no consequences. There's no consequences for bad behavior. That's what she's trying to say. So what she's trying to say is that assets.
Okay, there's no consequences for, but I don't believe that. I believe that
Did I freeze?
Yeah, you did.
Big time.
I heard the part that I needed to hear though. I feel like there is consequences, for their actions. I feel like some women are gonna be alone. And that's the consequences for the bad behavior. Men are going to go and find a good woman. You see what I'm saying? So I think those are the consequences.
I think the consequences are long term though. I think it's when they hit the 60s and the 70s and they realize that they're really alone that they're going to realize it. But to see women in their 40s and their 50s still saying, I don't need a man and I can do this on my own, it's heartbreaking. And what advice would you give to younger girls who aren't seeing the consequences, who are following that path of, I can just focus on myself? What advice would you give them, or how would you, for lack of better words, scare them into seeing the consequences of being alone?
I mean, I would definitely break down and tell, younger girls, let your goal be to be a good woman. And when you get into, a relationship, the goal to be marriage. And I will also teach them that, the relationship is not just all about you. You are in a relationship with someone. The relationship is about us. You see what I'm saying? It's about y'all, and have a different outlook so you can have a successful relationship or marriage. That's what they're not being taught. So how are they going to be successful and loving someone else when they're not being taught that? They're not just being taught just how to be. I feel like a lot of Black women are setting their daughters up to live in poverty instead of a successful life. And that's what they do when they teach their women that you can do bad by yourself. You don't need no man. So then they push the man, out of the household, or they have a child, and we know what the process is. And that's why it's happening. They're learning from toxic aunts, moms, grandmoms. It's a lot of toxic people that have taught them toxic things. I would try to help them unlearn that and show them some great examples of what your life could be.
I agree. I think, unfortunately, a lot of us we were raised in that fear, scarcity, and lack mindset, and we fear our men so much that the concept of submitting to them, like, brings us to this point. And to the guy, I can't see his name, but the guy who is talking about his wife, it's sad because it's like one of the feminist movement's agenda to tear the family apart and to brainwash us with thinking that we don't need our men. We can just go out, and because we have a group of girlfriends, we'll be okay. So it's just unfortunate to even hear stories like that. You guys are like towards the end of your life. You're supposed to be just settling down, taking things slow, but to happen to be going through this. And even the Bible talks about it's best to be outside than in the home with a quarrelsome wife or something like that.
Yes, ma'am. Right.
Yeah.
No, you're 100% correct, and that's why we have these shows, because men just want peace of mind. And you're right. When a man gets in his 40s and 50s, he's in the fall of his life. Half his life is almost over. What man want to be spending his next 20, 30 years in a house with a contentious woman? My heart goes out to you, Big Country. But I will say this: you deserve better, and with the assets that you got, you go to a country where Sweet Lulu Bean is at. There are women in other countries that will love a brother like you, that will honor you and respect you and give you what you deserve as a man. And I'm going to do everything in my power to give you your right to self-determination where you don't have to suffer in silence. If a woman don't honor you and respect you as a man, don't keep arguing with her, brother. You deserve so much better.
It's
and move accordingly.
it's not to interrupt there. It's so bad that at this point, I hate to say this because I love my black women. At this point, I don't want to deal with no damn women.
Right.
And that's pretty sad.
Wow.
I'm from the South. I'm from Birmingham. I love my black sisters. I
Mhm.
love black women, period. All women. But black women is my choice. Now I'm so bitter to the point where I don't even want to. I don't care if a woman just drop it like it's hot in front of me. I look at her like she's crazy. It's just I'm just tired.
You want peace? Yes. You want peace, man. And to the 100 that are watching, guys, share this content. It's 100 people that are watching. Share this content with 10 or 5 like-minded men. We got Chantel Simone in the house. Shout out to her. And we got the Resilient Ram. We got some 5 stars in the house tonight. We got the King of Kings. We got the Exalted Lioness. And we got I Am Shalakemia. I'm going to give my fire people, a little bit props because, they got that fire swag. But I need you guys to share the content. James Chernoff here hating, that kosher swag is rubbing off on him too. But
I have a question for Miss Shalakemia. If I said that right, I'm so sorry.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
So the gentleman just said that he's to the point where he wants to give up on black women. How does that make you feel as a genuine black woman who actually wants to spread love and positivity in our community?
It to be honest, I really hurt for him. I can really feel his spirit, and I don't know you. I've never met you, but I feel that you have already mentally checked out of your marriage because you're not happy. You've already checked out. You're just there. To be honest, you're just existing. And that's not good. I would give you the same advice is to just have, one last conversation to see if it changes anything. And then you have to do what you have to do from there. I understand you saying like you don't want to deal with any women because when you have put your all into something, you become frustrated, and like you said, you want peace. You are a seasoned man that wants peace, and that is so understandable. I wouldn't, just X out, all, women. Whatever you decide to do, if you decide to stay and it works, I pray that, it works. But if it doesn't and you walk away, take some time to yourself, but don't give up because there's somebody out there that will genuinely love you, and they're going to love you to the point where they want to see you happy too. They're going to love you to the point they want to be your peace.
Appreciate that.
But I pray that your wife wakes up and becomes your peace and learns how to be that. And I pray that, if this is God's will, that y'all, fall in love again and, kind of light that spark again.
Yeah, there's probably another show, but she doesn't have any girlfriends. Period. Her girlfriends are her sisters.
Mm-hmm.
And and I know that she's in some point, in some way, shape, or form, has painted me in a bad light, and I don't even feel comfortable with them coming to my house. So it's damaged. The relationship is damaged. I don't know how much more I can, talk about it or try to sit down and discuss it because it's kind of like a narcissistic trait. That to the point that if I say this is how I feel,
right,
all of the time the conversation end up being about her.
Right.
When I've said this is how I feel, but it always tend to go around. Well, you this and you that and you that. Well, what does that have to do with what I just brought a concern with?
Right.
It's like mental gymnastics.
Right.
I understand.
And honestly, to that point, like I think a lot of women, we were programmed. That's how we were programmed to think with it. It's all about, that's how society programmed everyone, because we talked earlier, you guys talked earlier about happy life, happy wife, happy life, BS. It's like we're programmed to think that it's supposed to be about us, and Valentine's Day is about us, or birthday or anniversary, everything is about us. So why even keep your feelings into consideration? And it's unfortunate that you're in a relationship with someone who won't even self-reflect to see how they're hurting you. So my heart goes out to you, and I'm sorry you have to be going through that.
Hey, country. Hey, her
Yes, sir.
sisters, are they married too?
Yes, and it's so
All of them?
weird. Yeah, it's so weird that her sisters are very conservative. And I even said, I said, hey, why don't you try to do what your older sisters are doing? It's working for them. They've been married for a long time. Get some wisdom from them. Why they wouldn't go out looking like this. And I know their husband wouldn't allow them to go out looking like this.
Right. It's disrespectful, man.
It's very disrespectful.
Okay.
And you don't have to tolerate it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, James.
Was there ever a time where she was dressing conservative?
Yes. One of the commenters said, I think your wife is going through a midlife crisis. That may be it. That I'm not trying to make excuses for, because I think everybody should be accountable. If you're a man or a woman, everybody got to have accountability. Right. And I take accountability for what I've done and some things that I've fallen short on. But, I told her one day, and this may have been a little harsh, I said, sweetie, when you get old, and as we get older, nobody cares about what you're wearing, what you got on, and then, you're trying to worry about all this other stuff. Last time I checked, you can't take it I've never seen a Brinks truck follow a hearse to the gravesite.
Yes, sir.
So, you can be all successful all you want to, but at the end of the day, it's just stuff. It's materialism. Right. It's just materialistic and nothing more.
I don't know. It sounds like attention to me, but I'll leave that there.
Let me say that I just seen a comment where someone, I guess, was addressing someone and saying he's not bitter, he's burnt out. Like who listened to him and said he was bitter? And I'm not trying to disrespect your show. I'm just saying like that was that's what I'm talking about. Why this man is talking about how he feels and what he's going through and he's bitter? No, that's not what that is. That really rubs me the wrong way. And I think I don't just speak for me, but I can feel his spirit. He's hurt.
Sorry, right.
He's tired.
And even if he is bitter, it's okay. If he is bitter, we always equivocate Shalakemia with bitterness is something bad. But just say if he was bitter, you have a right to be bitter if you are big country. Whether you're bitter or burnt out, if you are, it's not an indictment on you, it's an indictment on her.
Well, hell, I'm a little bit of both.
Right. You're a little bit of both, right. And you have a right to feel that way. It's not an indictment if you feel that way. Let me shout out this super chat right quick to my man. I call him the little Hobbit, the narc perspective.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right? That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
He's a Leo, by the way, too. He got that fine swag. But if you are bitter or burnt out or both, you have a right to feel that way. I'm gonna do a show called What If I'm Bitter? Many times Shalakemia, anytime a man talks about being bitter, it's like it's something bad. But it's okay to be bitter. It's what are you gonna do about it? You just can't stay there. If you're gonna be bitter, that's fine. Just don't stay there. But don't let nobody shame you into being bitter if you are.
May I ask, Big Country, did you guys get married young?
No, I got married when I was 36. 36.
How old is she?
She's 3 years older than me.
Okay.
Oh wow. How big?
And I'm 51, and she's getting ready to be 54. I don't understand the dynamics here, but I do like a lot of the comments that's being made in this chat. I do think I need to make some hard decisions, even if it means that I need to start over again. And and we have an opportunity to, even if we were to split up, that we both would be financially whole.
Well,
And
listen, we're gonna take you to Thailand with me. I'm gonna get James Turner getting ready. We're gonna fly
I've
out to
been to
Thailand.
Thailand. I did like 21 years in the Navy, so
Oh,
I've
did
been
you?
around the whole world.
Okay,
And,
good.
and I've seen a lot of things, and unfortunately, outside of the U.S., there's a different dynamics.
Yes, sir. It is.
Absolutely.
Well, like I said, man, the world is yours. What are you going to do about it? And if it means moving forward, then so be it. You got to do what's best for you. But these conversations are very important because men are tired, men are frustrated, and men do, Shalaqimia and Chantel, James Turner, have the right to self-determination. James Turner, you're going through an evolution because you're trying to get you a quality woman. You got your swag on. I can see I'm rubbing off on you. You know, you got your head on. You lost about 20 pounds. You got that Libra swag.
Man, look, I've always had more swag than you. You just never saw it.
Okay. I see you.
That's a fact. Wait, right, Shalakemia.
I'm agreeing that it's some equal swag over here.
Equal.
Yeah.
No, we no, it ain't number one swag because the king of kings. But these conversations are very important, man. We got to have these conversations because men are defecting, men are checking out, and we need women like Shalakemia Moffett, women like Chantel Simone that are uncovering so that they can recover, and we can get the best outcomes for our community. James Turner, do you think that there's going to be a time when the community get back to where it was at? Or you don't think it's going to happen in our lifetime?
Yeah, Coach. Unfortunately, I don't think that it's going to happen in our lifetime. Certainly not mine. I mean, for the most part, we've been listening to, how men have been messing up for like the last 60 or 70 years. How we haven't been, right in so many spaces or whatever the case may be. And now we're seeing some of the residuals with that as well, where there's no respect to the men and that kind of thing. And they're kind of doing what they want to do. But so I said all that to say is that it didn't get this way overnight. And it's certainly not going to cure overnight. But one thing I do know is that somewhere along the line, we all have to change our mind. And what I mean by that is, we have to begin to want to think differently, Coach. We can't just think it and just move forward. We have to, it's the will that's the problem. And when you don't want to do it, even if you claim you're going to do it and you go through the motions and this is that and the other, look, it's not genuine. It's not coming from the right spirit. You don't have the right heart, and therefore you're not going to have the right method when you do it. So, but to answer your question, Coach, no, it will not. This mess will not change. Not in my lifetime, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't see it either. Sad. Let me give this $20 shout out to Samuel.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Much love to you both.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
And a great conversation. And thank you, Samuel Bar. You guys go check out Shalakemia Moffett. I am Shalakemia. She has a dope website. She's a dope content creator. Shalakemia, I'm going to call you at some point this week. You got a lot of gems you left on the table. I don't think you know how much power you got, but we're going to talk about it because I don't think you got a lot of money in the bag and you don't even know it. So I'm gonna be the black leprechaun. So make sure you got your 4-leaf clover.
I'll be ready.
Look at James Turner over there hating. Big Country, do you got any question that you want to ask Shalakemia? James Turner, I know she got to go in a few minutes to take care of.
No, I just want to say, Shalakemia, I first was exposed to you on TikTok, and I was like, "Damn, this sister got it together." And at some point, I was like, "Dang, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of sister that all men or any black man would need." So I really appreciate your efforts and what you're doing. I'll support you any way I can. And I'm grateful that you just stepped out there. Besides Ms. Ali, Sharazad Ali, and on the last note, I even tried to give her book, Shahrazad Ali book. Man, she looked at that book like it was burning in hell. So
Right. And you know what? You're a well-traveled man, so you travel the country so the women are feminine.
Right.
I'm gonna do a show with Richard Mack at some point. Man, you need to get on your plane and zoom back to Thailand or Brazil. My whole point is that, man, there are women from other countries that will love and respect you. If you can find it here, so be it. I don't think that there are women like Shalakemia and Chantel are rare because many women don't want to look at themselves. Now, are there women that are trying to change, like Shalakemia is saying? Yeah, there are some that are trying to change. I don't think it's a mass conglomerate. I think it is a remnant, but I don't think it's a mass conglomerate. So I think you got to do what's best for you.
Yeah, the two ladies on the panel, they're unicorns.
Unicorns, right. They're rare, and people get mad when I advocate for men to travel outside the country. I'm working on a package right now with me and Mr. Turner behind the scene. We're gonna get him a pretty young thing at some point. He already lost about 20 pounds. He got that swag on. He another 20 and a couple more consultations.
It's whatever.
I'm gonna put him on a plane. I'm gonna put him on a Delta, man. I'm gonna ship him on over to South Africa because Lulu Bing said.
And I'm doing business class. You got to keep up.
Well, we're gonna do business class. We're gonna get you that white
business class.
We're gonna get you both. But is there anybody else that'd like to come up? And Shalakemia got to go in a minute. I know she got to go. But Shalakemia, sweetie, you have been awesome. I love you. This won't be the first. I feel like I've known you forever. Your energy is infectious. I love your tenacity. I love your poise. You are Aries, according to the stars. Aries and Leo's are power couples. Them Leo women, y'all get love too. But they say that the Aries and the Leos are actually destined.
And I'm a Leo.
Oh, man, hold on for a minute. You a Leo too? We got five in the house. We got Chantel.
Yes.
We got me. And you're a Leo, man, so you deserve better than that. I gotta definitely talk to you because you're very loyal. You're very loyal, but you're too loyal to your own detriment. I was like that, but you can't be like that. You're sabotaging yourself for your own good. You're very loyal, and you're an optimist. You probably see the good in this woman, and you're hoping that she's going to change. But she ain't gonna change, man. She's still in your joy, man. And we're gonna talk about that. So get ready to do this consultation, man. We're gonna make it pop off, man. But is there anybody else that would like to come on and ask Shalakemia a question? Shalakemia, how many more minutes you got, sweet, before you gotta go? I know you gotta go.
Yeah, I gotta go, but I just want to add something before I go, y'all. I'm excited. I'll be 37. I'll be 40 in 37 days.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Put that out there.
Pre-baby birthday.
I'm excited about it.
Happy birthday when it comes.
Thank you.
No doubt. Any of you guys got to ask Shalakemia another question. Is she, James Turner, the next Shahrazad Ali, in your opinion, before I let her go? I think she is, but what do you think?
Yeah, well, since she said that, we got equal swag. Man, look, I guess, no, all joking aside. Right. Yeah, I mean, she's definitely footing the bill. She's definitely picking up where she left off at. And she's still in the fight too. So she's doing stuff on the side nowadays because she's getting up there a little bit older here and there, but she's still in the fight. And Shalakemia, whatever the case may be, don't you give up. Chantel, you either don't you either give up. Again, you all are doing a great work, and I deeply, deeply appreciate what you all are doing. So I will say that.
Shalakemia, I want to ask you a question. The question was posed: what is marriage? Is marriage the involvement of the government, or is marriage something that's a byproduct of God? Basically, the question means: do you have to have a marriage license in order to say you are married, or should it be a contract between you and God and that man? What's your take on that, sweetie, before you go?
I think it's God. It's spiritual. You can, not be married to someone, but be in a relationship with someone, and that is who you're supposed to be with in the spiritual realm. You could be spiritually married to someone. So I don't think it's government. I think that's just something, they put in place, I guess, legal, whatever. But I don't believe in that. I mean, would I go get a marriage license with somebody? Yes. But I'm more if this is my mate in the spiritual realm, because let's be real, people are married to people they shouldn't even be married to. You know what I mean? Legally on paper, but that's not who you're supposed to be with. But for whatever reason, they're with that person.
No, I totally agree. Chantel, Simone, before you leave, before she leave, any question you want to ask Shalakemia before we sign off?
I can none that I can think of, but it was a pleasure talking to you. This is our first time talking, surprisingly, but I've seen you around and I enjoy your content. The first content I saw of you was a subscriber sent it to me. A lady was saying that she thinks if a man was abused in his childhood, yeah, that was just really mind blowing, and I love how you admire how you handle that conversations. I believe yes, you are the next Miss Shahrazad Ali, because you have the patience. You have the patience, and I can't find the word that I'm looking for, but how Shahrazad Ali was able to remove emotions from certain conversation, and just because I personally couldn't have a conversation with a woman who thinks that if a man was molested as a child, then that's his fault. But you were able to have a conversation and allow her to see it from a different perspective. So I admire you for that.
Right. Big Country, is she the next Sharazad Ali? I think she is. Some say others are.
Absolutely.
But I think she is. Go ahead.
Absolutely. Like I said, I first saw her on TikTok, and I said, this young lady, she's on to something. This woman is on to something, and she says the things that majority of black men or any man will be stoned for saying.
Right. No, I totally agree with. She definitely got a lot of passion and fire. She personified that fire swag like I got. But I love Shalakemia. I feel like I've known her forever, and we're gonna definitely do this again. So Shalakemia, you stay in contact. Let's do a show together. But I got some good news for you. I think you're leaving money on the table. I don't think you know about it, but I think you're leaving money on the table. We got one more, but she got to go get guys. So if you guys got questions, make it fast because she have to go. And I'm grateful. I'm James JJ Diesel. You got a question real quick?
Well, I just wanted to say something. I mentioned something about one of my exes. She's dead and gone now, but she cheated on me back in '06, and I was engaged with her. We was only together for a year. She cheated on me and caught the collapse. In the process, I'm the one took her to the hospital. I didn't have transportation at the time, and I was only out of town for a week, and I drive trucks. So I came home, dropped the trailer off so I could taxi around in the big truck like it was a car, just to take her to the hospital. My trust is gone. I have a good heart and everything, and you know I work for a white guy. And I've been working for him since 2014, and I'm still working for him. And I drive a old beat up old big truck, and it's a '93, and I still drive it. That thing put out a lot of smoke. I've been through a whole lot of stuff that a lot of people might not be able to understand or have the sense to be able to deal with. I done drove nationwide. I done drove in Canada, and all types of terrain and weather. And to come home to deal with something like that, it breaks my trust. I'm the one who took her to the hospital. Come find out she had the collapse. And the people asked me at the hospital, the staff asked me, how am I related to her? She's my fiance. So they did not make me go out, doing the examination. I've had a lot of shaming tactics, but people that send me shaming tactics only expose themselves to me for what they really are, demonic. That's my root on how I speak so strongly about stuff. And things in the Bible show me a lot. I've gotten a lot of revelations from the Bible, and people expose themselves to me for who they are, either with good energy or bad. And in my line of work, I've met all kinds of people. Murderers on the run, people in police chases. I've seen so much stuff, it's hard to talk about it. It's disheartening. I'm thankful for some things on one hand, but I feel dismayed and distrustful on the other.
So real quick, JJ, real quick, because she have to go. You got a question to ask her before she leave? Another 2 minutes, real quick.
No, I just want to appreciate I am Shalakemia. I appreciate you what you're trying to do. May God be with you and bless you and keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
No doubt, no doubt. Shalakemia, thank you, sweetie. I know you got to go. I will be reaching out to you again soon. You get special rights because you are in the circle of fire. You got that fire for your mind.
Fire
for
your mind.
But we don't. We
culture,
exhaust
mission.
air. But
Is
I'm gonna
that
let you
you
go.
on that sound?
Oh,
Culture,
no
that's
doubt.
you?
No doubt. Fire for you. See that?
Thanks for having me, guys.
You see that fire in the background? What's you? Fire for your mind. You got to change. Yeah, no doubt. That's that Leo swag. But but listen, they don't know nothing about that. Our big country in Chantel, they don't know about us Leos. We the king of kings. But before you go, sweetie, you want to leave a question? Anything you want to leave before we leave? If not, thank you for coming on the platform. Anything you want to say before you get off?
No, I just really, I didn't mean to say no. I just appreciate, all the love and, the support. I'll be doing my first live on Tuesday at 8 p.m. I haven't posted any content. I just hope people are receiving of, what I'm going to come to the table, and say, But I just appreciate everybody's support and the love.
No doubt. I appreciate you too, sweetie, and everything that you're trying to do and your ability to uncover so that you can recover, but also teach the remnant of women that are willing to listen. So thank you, and salutations to you for doing the right thing. We will do this again. We will have this conversation again at some point. Perhaps me, you, and Chantel can do it because I love hearing cogent sisters like you two, even Lulu Bean, women that are willing to introspect, women that are willing to change, and women that are willing to guide other younger women to the promised land as relates to understanding what men want in these very turbulent times. So thank you, dear, once again. I love you. And we'll be having a conversation in the future. So thank you, sweetie.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good night, everybody.
All right. All right. We're going to sign off.
Love y'all. Love y'all.
All right. Chantel, anything else you want to add, sweetie? Anything else you want to add or talk about?
No, it was a great conversation. I think the more we have these conversations, the greater the chance of seeing changes. I think that we live in a society that silence men and what they're going through, and just like how big country, why gaslight and try to twist and change the narrative. Society on a whole does that if we were to ever highlight how women messed up and women's flaws. So the more we have these conversations and the more we have these platforms to speak the truth and tell the stories, hopefully then we'll see changes in our community.
No doubt. I appreciate it. So a shout out to MGTOW Flight for the $2 super sticker. Thank you, brother. And shout out to Gary Lynn Scott.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
Dropping some love on me.
That's a bet, right? That's a deal, right? That's a deal, right?
And so I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for adding to the show. And guys, we're going to sign off in a minute, but this has been a good show. We're talking about the exoneration in this Shalakemia Moffett, the next Sharazad Ali. This has been a good show, guys. We're going to sign off. But James Turner, thank you for everything you're doing, brother. I'm proud of you, man. I see that swag is coming to form, man. You looking good, brother. Losing weight, you looking good.
Always had it, bro. You just didn't see it.
I'm proud. I know.
Always had it, bro. Always had it.
Yeah, you had it, but you didn't have it like me.
Always had it.
But you're getting there. You're getting there.
Always had it.
You got that Turner swag. But real quick, Turner, before we leave, anything you want to share before we sign off in less than 2 minutes? Anything you want to
really quick. It was great having Shalakemia on. You also, Chantel. Just keep doing what you're doing. I know it gets hard, but anything that's worth having, you got to work for it. So again, thank you all for being out here. Thank you, Coach, as usual, for inviting me to the show. Right. And that's all I have to say.
And go check out Shalakemia's audio book on iamshalakemia.com. Go check out the audio book. I bought it, and it was very awe-inspiring. Go check out the sister. She's a good sister. Well, yeah, I hear you, Malaki 5. She might be. I've heard the Crimson Cure. Shout out to her. Yeah, I'm just looking at far as the characteristics. It looks like it could be Shalakemia, but it's all conjecture. It's no harm or foul. But it's been a great show. Big Country, come see me, man. We're going to have a conversation in the back. Make sure you come see me at kosherclinician@gmail.com, Big Country.
Okay, I'll hit you up after this.
All right, brother, let me know, and I look forward to trying to help you, man. You're a good guy. And so, guys, we're about to sign off. This has been a good show. Guys, go subscribe to Shalakemia Moffett. Go check out my dear friend, Chantel Simone, the Exalted Lioness. That's a new term that I gave her. I love that brilliant young woman. She's a good young lady. And she's trying to do God's work. She's trying to lead the masses to freedom. And shout out to her. So, listen, guys, this has been another good show. And I told you guys that there are 7 steps that a man must go do in order to become optimized. Men, when you learn and understand the power that you have in the relationship, you will not hold yourself renderless to demands that are not beneficial to you or your ego. I told you, men, if she protects your 6, then you'll turn around and protect her 6. If a woman is not giving you what you want in the relationship, it's time for you to self-introspect and to move forward. Tomorrow, guys, we're going to have a good show as a segue to this conversation tonight, and we're going to talk about the power or the right to self-determination. That is a term that we use in the clinical world, and we're going to talk about it on tomorrow. So once again, guys, I love you guys. Shout out to my dear friend, Shalakemia Moffett. And if you guys are in need of help, come see me at kosherclinician@gmail.com.
Are you a victim of brokenness and despair? A broken man is a hopeless man, and a hopeless man is a very dangerous man. Many times, many of you young men that are listening come from homes that are very toxic and very dysfunctional. And because of that, many of you have deferred your power in many ways to the point it's led over into your social life, and many times led over into your relationships. If you guys are dealing with mental health pathologies, conscious and unconscious, come see me at kosherclinician@gmail.com. That's kosherclinician@gmail.com. It's important that you deal with your mental health in order to be a better person for yourself, your loved ones, and also your community. But because mental health is often stigmatized, many of you often suffer in silence. Don't be a victim in silence. And see me once again at kosherclinician@gmail.com. And I need you guys to remember this. If it ain't 7, it ain't kosher. If it ain't kosher, it ain't right. There are 7 steps that a man must go through in order to become an optimized male. And male mental health is one of those elements that's paramount to the functioning of a man. Be well.
Like I work in finance. God bless, no, this not by chance. Don't dab me, you're not my man. Don't at me, you're not my man. Mama said don't buy it if you cannot buy it twice. I cop by the tools and I don't pump fake with the price. Always on the grind, I put in work with all my might. I know that he got me, not by sight. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like Vandy's, I slide out Landy's. All black like that. Fit 4 days, that's for sure though. Grinding from the grip, no shame, take a photo. Time to take a trip, we head north to the border. Say you feeling up, I'm my favorite type of hoarder. I got kids to feed, I got enemies, I got God's gift, so they envy me. Got some friends out Memphis like I'm Aubrey. Got some friends fought for orange like some autumn leaves. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like Vandy's, I slide out Landy's. V12 Benji, all black like Batman. Yeah, 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 yeah. I skirt like Vandy's, I slide out Landy's. V12 Benji, all black like Batman. All black like Batman. All black like Batman.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Watch out for those who surround you, need no funny kind. You can't see what's on my brain, I live inside my mind. Out of space and out of sight, you need me in my line. Need no face, don't need no phonies, no. Need no snakes, no only homies down for show. On go. Get a book and get the front end, we load up and roll. I got kids, yeah, I got staff, I make a little need more. I sell records, you sell packs, not on my level, no. I'm a pop star, I'm a rock star, I'm a winner. Think I'm not hard, you smoke rock hard waste, man, why you dumb? I'm with airline, we on airlines like we on the run. I'm with Tay, girls run up on me, they done. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Yeah. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my ass. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my money line. Why check Castro, yeah, I need my.
Ma jolie, oh ma jolie. Yeah. Every time I come around you, baby girl, something doesn't feel the same. You said that I'm changing, but it's really you. I see how you play those games. Wifey type for a main man. A queen can make moves, a king can't. Snatch you up, now you taking. Gave you bricks, now you building a wall up. Lately you and I've been all love. I don't know what's up with our love. You forgetting all about us. Oh, my jolie, oh my jolie. Where are you when I need you the most? You still MIA. This is murder, heart is melting. Girl, you got me. Called your bluffing, made you something. Now you talking. Telling me to cool it off. How can I cool it off? Telling me to cool it off. How can I cool it off? Oh, my jolie, oh my jolie. My jolie, oh my jolie. You don't turn on me now. You don't get no time for me now, babe. Got him on a rebound. But it's only you that I like, babe. Tout ce que j'ai fait c'était pour toi. Sur le haut parle mais t'écoutes pas. Tu me vois crever mais tu bouges pas. Pourquoi? Whoa, yo, wall up. You can't even get the scars up. For us, I don't know what's up with our love. You forgetting all about us. Oh, my jolie, oh my jolie. Where you been when I need you the most? You still MIA. This is murder, heart is melting. Girl, you got me. This is called your bluffing. Need you something, now you talking. I call you bluff. You telling me to cool it off. How can I cool it off? Telling me to cool it off. How can I cool it off? My jolie, oh my jolie. Girl, you got me. Called your bluffing, made you something. Now you talking. You telling me to cool it off. How can I cool it off? Telling me to cool it off. How can I cool it off? ma jolie.
I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I might rent the Lambo and go drive it like it's stolen. I've been living wild, I'm just going through the motions. Stumbling out the Uber, grab my hand, gave me a notion. Swimming in your water, but it feels just like the ocean. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you down till you dry. All the time, ease my mind. All the time, ease my mind. I know that you're dangerous, I'm addicted to you. I was sipping Moet for 2 years straight to the face. Champagne belly bubble still won't go away. Last year my best man hit a stain with bad face. Now he's got a LB on the water's cold case. I wake up with pain sometime and never go away. Wonder why I bow to my knees when I pray. In my city gritty, gotta keep it on your waist. Or you might be a victim, they'll find you DOA. I can't lie, I've really been addicted to you. All of my attention I've been giving to you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. Caught up in my feelings, I got feelings for you. On my mind, I can't lie. On my mind, I can't lie. Pull you down till you dry. Pull you